like, yo, Jay, who are you? Like, I'm Dominicana.
You gonna go from Pitbull to Pitt Williams?
And I got no hit rotation. I got zero. The feet just moving because they're supposed to move.
Because he's throwing his hips out because of malpractice with him in Philadelphia.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results.
On the Louis Bellina Show, participation is encouraged and it is rewarded. You can call me each day, Monday through Friday, 11 to 2 at 979-693-1150. You and I can hang out on the Smoothie King hotline, or maybe you're a texter, 979-693-1150. Hit send. I read all your text messages Monday through Friday, 11 to 2, inside the Texas Mobile One Lube Express inbox.
1, 2.
I'm in love with a man named Rudy. I'm okay with that. He knows exactly what I want. He keeps me coming back. Cooks breakfast, lunch, and dinner for me. Does the dishes too. I'm in love with a man named Rudy. Last name Barbecue. It sure is easy to fall in love with Rudy's tasty oak smoked barbecue.
Next in line.
Life is filled with many paths, but for Native American children, the most important path is the one that leads them out of poverty.
It's a path that led me here, to St. Joseph's Indian School.
It's where I came to grow and learn. Find care, love, and support. Stay healthy and safe. And make friends that last a lifetime.
For almost 100 years, St. Joseph's Indian School has been giving Native American children a path out of poverty through education, love, and support. And 96% of St. Joe's students graduate high school. That's 10% higher than the national average.
St. Joseph's Indian School is our path to a brighter future.
Learn more at stjo.org today.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too.
Al-Anon
and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
To find the complete list of prize contest rules for the Zone 1150 and 93.7 FM, visit zone1150.com. This is KZNE College Station Bryan.
From WTAW, I'm Chelsea Reber with a news update on the zone. West Nile virus has been detected in Brazos County for the first time since September 2021. That's after the health district found a mosquito trap containing positive samples inside the Bryan zip code of 77803. The health district recommends limiting time outdoors, and when you are outside, use insect repellent containing DEET and wear long, loose, and light-colored clothing. The city of College Station has a pair of traffic advisories for tomorrow. One involves the ongoing expansion of Greens Prairie Road, where traffic will be stopped at 5-minute intervals tomorrow from midnight until noon as concrete is poured. A progress report was presented during the June 12th College Station City Council meeting from Capital Projects Director Jennifer Kane.
Greens Prairie widening from Dalton to Arrington Road. So this is the one that's in the city limits. It's currently under construction. We've got the other section under design in the county. Almost both sides are completely done as far as the pavement being there. They're working on the medians and working on the shared use path is on one side, and there's still a shared use path yet to come on the other side. Construction's about 80% complete.
Also tomorrow, traffic in the Welborn Road construction zone will shift between Rock Prairie and Balcones Drive, and the TxDOT Bryan District Office reports repaving will take place on Highway 6 at the north end of Bryan starting tonight and continuing through next Tuesday. A state-mandated 21-day waiting period has passed for the College Station ISD School Board and their lone finalists for superintendent.
First time in 16 years that College Station ISD has gone outside and brought in, a superintendent from outside.
Comments from CSISD Board President Jeff Horak on June 12th after Tim Harkreider was named lone finalist.
He wants to learn and listen everything that College Station ISD is doing from the top down, what he's been doing in Willis, and then how he's going to bring, maybe that here to College Station, or how everything's working in College Station and kind of mold that around what works best for the district and going forward.
Today at noon, the board is scheduled to finalize the hiring. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
Here's Brad Beard of Intercon.
As the old saying goes, if your only tool is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. At Intercon, we have a full toolbox to meet your window needs. Perhaps your home is ready for a full retrofit to vinyl windows. This full replacement option beautifies your home while improving thermal efficiency, noise reduction, and dust penetration. On the other hand, your existing windows may just need some maintenance. The glass in your existing windows may be replaced, in many cases upgraded to more efficient options. The mechanism in your windows can be replaced to allow the window to operate more smoothly. Maybe you just need solar screens on some windows to eliminate hot spots in your home that tax the air conditioning system and make some rooms unlivable. With the breadth and depth of Intercon's knowledge and product offering, we can find the solution that meets your needs and budgetary constraints. Trust your friends at Intercon to understand your needs and use the best tool for the job.
Whether you have new construction or an existing home, let the fine folks from Intercon help your home energy efficiency year-round. Call Brad Beard of Intercon today at 823-3639. That's 823-3639.
I'm Sean Burnett with your Aggie Sports Minute on The Zone. This update is brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. Call 936-825-0500 or click hilcosupply.com. The Texas A&M track and field team has 23 athletes ready to compete at the USA Outdoor Track and Field Championships and 4 participating in the U20 Championships. Results from the meets can qualify them for a number of world events down the road. Headlining the group are Fred Curley, Athing Mo, and Bryce Deadman. 2 current members of the program, Jack Mann and Cameron Dixon, and a pair of incoming freshmen will take place in the U20 Championships. And the Aggie football program continues to impress in the recruiting world. They've now received 10 2024 commitments. It's the most commits in 1 month that Jimbo Fisher has ever received in his time at A&M. The Aggies received a big commitment Tuesday when wide receiver Cameron Coleman announced he'd be coming to A&M. With the college football season approaching, the season predictions are coming out. While the Aggies had a tough 5-7 year, it's not stopping Phil Steele from ranking the Aggies 3rd in the SEC West. He's got Alabama and LSU at the first 2 spots, followed by Texas A&M. Steele says that A&M is the clear number 3 and possibly a number 2 team. The season kicks off September 2nd at Kyle Field against New Mexico. And that's your Aggie Sports Minute, brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. On The Zone, I'm Sean Burnett.
Each week on the Louie Bellina Show, we go in the pit with barbecue pit master Bryce Jones. In the Pit, brought to you by Dixie Tire Company. Need a certain brand of custom wheels, auto accessories, truck lift kits? You need a flat tire repaired, tire and wheel rotation, or more? It's Dixie Tire Company. Sure, we talk a little barbecue, but we talk maroon and white, Astros, and more. It's In the Pit each week on the Louie Bellina Show with barbecue pit master Bryce Jones.
If I'm going to do this, I'll need my news team at my side.
News team, assemble!
Howdy, Aggieland. Welcome to the SEC.
Our program will be built on 4 principles in which I talk about all the time: toughness, effort, discipline, and pride.
Dang it! I'm going to have to buy that boy cream cone.
Now I'm distracted on my point. What were we talking about?
It's bull crap. All I care about is winning. Show me the dang baby.
You do it till they do it right, and then you do it till they can't do it wrong.
Go get him. Why are you dancing around? Eat him like he's a steak.
He fits what TexAgs radio is about. He fits into what the listeners are going to want. He's a pro on every level.
It's Nuño and the crew on TexAgs Radio. Right here on Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone.
Hey, records on my demo.
All right, so today's a big day, kind of. We'll talk about it. Welcome into TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. It is the Go Hour, presented by The Warehouse at CC Creations. Olin Buchanan with us, as he always is in the morning. OB, today is Thursday, July 6th. Why is that an important date?
Tell me.
I want you to guess. I want you just to guess. Think about the room. Think about the people. Think about life.
Well, okay, I don't know if this is it.
I think you're right.
But is this the important day in your house?
No, that's next week, but thank you for
but
remembering that. Yeah,
I know that's about this time of year.
July 14th is that day. No, today is my 2-year anniversary at TexAgs.
Oh, okay.
My first show was 2021. Not that is a huge deal right any stretch, but we've made it 2 years, and I'm starting my 3rd football season here at TexAgs, which I'm excited about. Also, it's the birthday of one of your role models, I'm assuming.
One of my role models.
Sylvester Stallone.
Yo, Adrian, it's my birthday.
Stallone today.
I like Stallone.
77 years old.
In fact, I had to turn it off last night, but because I got tired, but I was watching Last Blood last night.
That's the 2019 version of the show?
It's, I guess, from First Blood. He's playing Rambo at the end, and he's...
This is child trafficking. He goes into Mexico and fights the cartel.
Yeah, but I fell asleep before.
It's not good.
Well, but it's still...
But it's entertaining.
It's Stallone, though. And I like Stallone.
What movies from Stallone do you hate? I know there's got to be a couple.
Hate.
Rhinestone?
I didn't hate it.
I did.
I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it. I mean, Hate is a movie that I feel like I went and said, you...
Wasn't he in a musical once?
I don't know.
Huh. Did you like Cliffhanger?
No, I didn't like it.
I didn't either.
I didn't. But do I hate it? Is a movie I hate is like as soon as you say what movie you hate, I'm going to go bam. And then,
I got one for everybody. Okay. Rocky V. Everybody hated that movie. You can't be an American like that. Oh well. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
I don't think I saw it.
Estelle Getty, right?
But I think I knew it was going to be horrible, so I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one, but I knew. I'm trying to see what other ones. Rocky V, Rhinestone, The Specialist.
Didn't see it.
Avenging Angelo. Never saw that one.
Is he in? Was Judge Dredd his?
Yeah, think so. Although
I think it might have been, and it was pretty terrible.
Did you ever see Get Carter?
No,
me neither. Ants.
Well, he was a cartoon, you know. So
Rambo.
Well, I thought
the Rambos were good.
I thought the Rambos were good. Now, the great movie was First Blood.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Daylight. Never saw that one.
See, I think you're more of a Stallone guy. In fact,
I am a Stallone guy.
I think in your, use the word fantasy, you would love to be John Rambo.
I would, yes.
In fact, your whole life.
I don't want to be depressed veteran, but yes, I'd like to do the cool stuff.
You want to sneak up on people and cut their hamstrings with a
yes. Who doesn't want to do that?
Yeah. You want to blow up a whole town.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Cobra. I liked John. I think it was John Cobra. Did you like Cobra?
Cabretti, I think his name. That's funny. I liked his wife in that movie.
Bridget Nielsen. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, young Bridget Nielsen.
Yeah, not the more recent version of Bridget. Not that there's anything wrong with getting old, she just didn't age as well. Anybody else?
I'm trying to think of some more Stallone movies.
Today's not all about Stallone, by the way. We're going to get into some football.
Today's his birthday, though.
Today's his birthday. When Stephen McGee's in studio later, he's going to come up again, and it's going to be a little buy-sell lease, and we'll talk about that when he's here. So I don't know if you heard, Phil Steele was on the show yesterday.
I heard he was.
He was really good. Well, by the way, you don't have to be positive about A&M for me to consider you a good guest, but he was pretty positive. I believe we have a clip of him talking about the A&M offense, so let's cue that up. Nick, if you don't mind. And what about Bobby Petrino? Do you think he and Jimbo can coexist and make this offense do something more than 22.5 points a game?
Easily. In fact, I don't think Coach Fisher would have brought in Coach Petrino if he didn't think he could coexist with them. And my computer does a pretty good job predicting the points per game on the season. And this year it's calling for over a touchdown increase up into the 30s with the offense. So I think with the better offensive line, with more stability at quarterback, getting Anaya Smith back at wide receiver, all those factors added in with Bobby Petrino, this is going to be a much more explosive offense.
So my response to that is yes. Yes, we've been saying that on the show for a while. I don't think one touchdown is what I want. I want more than one touchdown. We all want like 20 more touchdowns. But my point is a one touchdown improvement isn't what I'm looking for.
Well, I think there's definitely the potential to be much better than one touchdown a game.
Do you know how many times, and I know you know this, but you may have to think about it for a second. Do you know how many times they scored 30 points last year?
Twice, the first game and the last game.
Correct.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
Unacceptable. So to me, 30 points a game should be the bare minimum. They should be scoring 35 points a game, but I'll take 33 points a game.
Oh, of course, I got, I guess, kind of, I don't know, spoiled's the right word, but, I saw those first two offenses in the SEC where it was nothing to score 40.
Right.
In fact, if they didn't score 40, you were kind of disappointed. Now, you had Mike, you had three, I guess in that first year you had 5 eventual first-round draft choices just on offense. So that had something to do with it, right? And so maybe that's demanding too much, but I don't think scoring 31 points a game should be too much to ask to at least average that. Now, look, there's going to be some games where you're going to score in the 40s and some games, in the 20s, but make it the high 20s.
Right, I agree. Yep. And that should be the high 20. It shouldn't ever be in the teens / early 20s. Like it needs to be. I mean, I'm trying to think what opponent, because even that they're not taking on Georgia. The really good defenses give up points.
Sometimes, most of the time, yeah. Now, but let's say they go out and play. People say Alabama's defense is going to be better, and I'm kind of scratching my head and trying to figure out why. But okay, if they have this defense and you score 17 points, okay, I don't have a problem with that. If they score 14,
right?
Or be and for God's sakes, find a defense that I cannot believe that A&M had four interceptions last year. I think there's like 4 teams that had 4 or less. That is just unacceptable. And that starts with the fact that you had a pop gun pass rush with, I think, 18 sacks.
And you could run on this defense.
Right.
They didn't have to throw. They did throw, but they didn't have to. If you want to be a part of this discussion, I just learned English today. You can do that by texting us on the A&B text line 979-693-1150. A&B, a College Station branch of the Amarillo National Bank. Good Texas Banking is the website. AMB.com. Let's go behind the glass and say hello to Nick Savage. Nick, good morning, buddy.
Howdy, good morning, y'all.
What's up?
How many, or I don't even know if they're niche. How many, movies do you think y'all have watched that we have never seen in this office? Because every time y'all get into movie talk, every movie you throw out, I'm just
I don't know how many movies there are.
Yeah. So when I was growing up, I did a good job of watching movies before my day. Now,
Me too.
I'll be honest, I haven't watched Casablanca. Never going to watch it. No desire to. There's nothing. I don't.
I watched it because I heard it was a great movie. So one day I watched it.
And I'm sure it is a great movie. I'm just not interested in it, right? But I would say movies that came out with people that I'm going to associate with that era, I would watch, even if it was before me. I watched movies in the 70s and 80s.
You know what movie I watched just a couple of weeks ago?
Huh.
Whatever Happened to Baby Jane?
Unparted.
It's a classic.
Okay.
And I watched it again.
Was it good?
Oh yeah, it's great. It's a great movie. It's kind of eerie and
Yeah.
It's not an Alfred Hitchcock movie, but it could be.
Yep.
About with Betty Davis and the Mommy Dearest chick.
That movie freaks me out.
Yeah, but it's the woman, Joan Crawford,
Joni,
and the guy who played King Tut on the Batman cartoon. I mean, the Batman Adam West series.
Yeah,
and he's in that movie. The guy who was the King Tut villain. I can't remember his name, but anyway, great movie, suspenseful, done kind of understated.
Sure,
almost a horror movie. But I bet you that everybody, well, you're 40-something. Have you ever heard of the movie?
Never heard of it. So maybe I'm in the same ballpark as you, Nick. I never. Now, how about this? Have you seen Pulp Fiction?
Yes, I have.
Okay, well, good. We'll pat you on the back for that.
Footloose.
Sweet. No, and I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I've seen it, and I admire you, Nick.
I've heard the song.
48 Hours.
No.
Outstanding.
Wait a minute. Maybe. What's
There's
that
a new
one about?
sheriff in town.
Yeah, Reggie Hammond. Hello.
There's a new sheriff in town. His name's Reggie Hammond. Be cool, y'all.
Maybe not. No.
No. Let's see. Breakfast Club.
No, haven't.
16 Candles.
No.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Nope.
Brighton Beach Memoirs.
Nope.
Didn't see it.
Police Academy.
Nope.
Police Academy 2, 3, 4, 5.
No.
No?
Have not.
Short Circuit.
Nope.
Over the Top.
Nope.
On the Waterfront.
Nope.
Me neither.
Streetcar Named Desire. I'm going through Marlon Brando movies now.
Wow, Nick, there's a lot of movies you haven't watched.
Yeah, that's
The Ten Commandments.
I probably should watch that one, but no,
It comes on every Easter.
Yeah, I have not seen that one.
Huh.
Soylent Green.
Basically, I'm very unqualified to sit in this chair and have any discussion about
Beverly Hills
movies
Cop?
Nope. Mm-mm.
So you don't know, when I say Axel Foley, that means nothing to you.
No, absolutely
Coming
zero.
to America.
Nope.
Come on.
The boxing's the barbershop scene where they're talking about boxing.
Yes.
And Coming to America is one of the great. And I don't even like the whole movie, but that
scene is great.
That is an amazing scene.
So out of every movie y'all have mentioned today, I need to watch
Animal House.
Oh, okay.
Trading Places.
Wait. Animal House?
No. Both of those.
Okay. You're dead to me.
Wow.
What's the first movie you remember watching?
Man, I have no earthly idea.
Like a first, early, like 3-year-old, oh yeah, that was good.
I mean, I Star Wars movies, maybe. I don't know. I can't tell you. Indiana Jones. I remember watching that. I'm not going to go see the new one, by the way. It looks awful.
It looks terrible.
But
I'm not into old action fighters.
Well,
just not into it. It's not my thing.
They're doing the thing they did with Star Wars is take the good characters and ruin them or kill them off or something. I don't know, but not a fan.
Anyway, Ron and Irving wants to know, have you seen Porky's?
Nope. Never heard of it.
Porky's too.
Look Who's Talking.
Mm-mm.
Look Who's Talking too.
Yeah, I liked your accent there. Die Hard? Come on, Die Hard.
I've seen it on TV. Never watched it all the way through.
Lethal Weapon?
Nope.
Beastmaster?
Nope.
God.
That sounds like a Transformers movie or something. I don't know.
Beastmaster is definitely not that.
Okay.
Yeah. Varsity Blues?
Yes.
Friday Night Lights?
Yes.
The Program?
Nope.
God, I feel like I've named every movie ever made from the 80s and 90s.
Brian's Song.
Nope.
Great movie.
Never heard of it.
Google it.
Okay.
You'll feel better. White Knights?
Nope.
Have you ever heard of Gail Sayers?
I have not. No, sir.
Oh, God.
Really? I mean, seriously, you've never heard of Gail Sayers?
If I looked up a picture, I'd probably recognize him, but I mean, the name doesn't ring a bell right now.
Okay, I think
she's an amazing singer.
I think you need to get out of sports media.
Okay.
God, no, I don't think so. Not until we find your replacement. All right.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
fair
kidding.
enough. He might be sitting next to me, or might be at the News and Social Center.
He hasn't watched. None of those guys have watched.
Hey,
those
have you ever heard of Babe Ruth?
Yes.
Okay, just want to see how bad you are.
Mickey Mantle?
Yes.
All right.
DiMaggio?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's hit a break.
Mike Schmidt?
We've got to check in with Jared, but we'll do that on the other side. He's got some stuff for us on the News and Social Center. Also, OB, I'm going to play a soundbite that may anger you.
Okay.
All right. It may not. You may laugh. I think it'll anger you. All right. That and more when we come back here on TexAgs Radio. But before we do that, Nick, have you heard of Fargo's?
Of course I have.
All right. If they made a movie, would you go watch it?
I would watch it on
All
repeat.
Right. Would you eat it?
It depends on if they had it, if they cooked it in the wood chipper.
Well, nicely played. Fargo, 1701 South Texas Avenue in Bryan.
I bet it tastes good if they did.
Top 50 what?
Barbecue joints in the world. The world.
Which means?
In Texas.
Which means?
Which means.
I don't know. I'm just going to
keep asking. The universe.
Yes, thank you. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. Judge Dredd would eat it.
Judge Dredd would dread not eating it.
Yeah. You think Dolph Lundgren, Ivan Drago would eat it?
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, he would.
Especially on Saturday.
Yeah, well, especially when he was doing the steroids and he needed more protein, he would go there.
If you want protein,
that's
your place.
Yeah. Dolph Lundgren, all the stars.
It's easy to get a lot of protein there because it tastes so good. You don't want to stop eating.
But you know what? You don't just get protein there. You get your carbs too.
If you want them.
Like today, great day for carbs.
Why is that, David?
Macaroni and cheese.
Both of them.
Yeah, mac and cheese.
Do you ever eat just the macaroni and no cheese?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know what? This is my move, and you're not going to like this move. Nobody, in fact, our entire audience isn't going to like this move. I usually buy like a little bit healthier protein-esque macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
And I do half the cheese. I don't need all that cheese. I do half. So when I squeeze it in, and my kids, they don't know the difference because I've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, I kind of figure if I'm going to go macaroni and cheese, I'm going to throw deep. I'm going all the way.
All the way in.
Yeah, it sounds like you eat like a West Coast offense. You just want to dink and dunk. I say, screw it, man. Go deep. We're not going to take what you give us. We're going to take what we want, and I want some macaroni and cheese.
Can that be a soundbite? Please. Fargo, 1701 South Texas Avenue.
I want some Fargos.
They're in Bryan. You know that without a doubt, they're the best barbecue.
Without a doubt.
That's their trademark because?
It's true.
It's Fargo, so go check it out.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on The Zone. The Brazos County 4-H Cake Show and Auction is Monday, August 7th at the Brazos Center. The auction starts at 7 p.m. When you don't know where to turn to 211 Texas, a free, easy-to-remember helpline that connects you to community services. Simply dial 211 or visit 211texas.org. The Community Foundation builds charitable endowment funds to benefit area nonprofits far into the future. Consider the options of building your charitable legacy with the Community Foundation at cfbv.org. Pride Community Center offers support groups to bring individuals together to address societal pressure, discrimination, and stigma regarding LGBTQ+ identity. For more information, visit pridecc.org. You can hear Houston Astros baseball all summer long on The Zone and select games on Gospel 97.3 FM thanks to Kelly Bertdozer. That's your community calendar. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
To succeed in sports, athletes must do the little things to get better every day. The same applies in business. Howdy, I'm Stephanie Gomez, Treasury Management Officer from Veribank. We understand the impact of mastering the little things. We pay attention to detail to find the right product or service for your business, like tech tools to manage your cash and payments or financing options for expansion. At Veribank, we believe in better business banking every day. Visit us at veribank.com today. That's VERAbank.com.
Veribank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Maroon U is your ultimate stop for brand name apparel, gifts, and accessories for the entire family. From Columbia, 47 brand, Yeti, Dooney & Burke, and Adidas, we're able to outfit you for every occasion. Visit Maroon U and our family of companies on Holloman Drive in College Station to shop the latest in brand name Aggie merchandise. Shop Maroon U today, voted best in the Brazos' best gift shop since 2016. Maroon never looked so good with Maroon U.
Get your groove on for the Peace, Love, and Giving Gala as you travel back to the 60s to celebrate Twin City Mission's 60th anniversary, Saturday, August 12th. Enjoy a far-out night as you move and groove to Emerald City's downtown fever while enjoying an out-of-this-world meal. There will be a Good Vibes raffle, live auction, and more. Support and celebrate this one-time event of Twin City Mission's 60 years in the Brazos Valley, Saturday, August 12th at the Brazos County Expo. Tickets and information at twincitymission.org. twincitymission.org.
Hi, popular sports talk host Chip Howard, reminding you it's July, and that means I'm gone. Someone will be back on the air July 6th, but until then, enjoy the Independence Day holidays and be sure to patronize my sponsors like Superior Air Repair, Texas Grill Supply, Hen House Awards, and Decker Financial. I'll be back in time for football season with lots of great stories about my fabulous vacation. Remember, weekdays 4 to 6 right here on The Zone.
Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fire.
Talk to me, OB. You wanted to say something about this.
I wasn't saying anything about this.
Oh, what were we going to say?
I was saying about Phil Steele. You said that you don't have to necessarily say good things about A&M for it to be a good guest.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. If somebody has a criticism of A&M and you can come on and say, this is why, and make valid points, then I'm all for it.
One of those guys, in my opinion, and sometimes he angers folks, is Connor O'Gara at Saturday Down South. He was a little critical of A&M entering last season. Turned out he was kind of true about some of the things he was critical about. He was critical about the offense, which we all knew it needed to evolve. I thought it would evolve last season. He was critical of the age. All seemed to be true. That was part of their issues last year. If you
so many young players?
Yes, correct. Yeah. So if you can, we may not like the opinion, we may not agree with it, but if you can have a point, illustrate it, and not make it personal, because I think sometimes we're going to get into somebody who makes it personal here in a second.
Okay.
I think sometimes you just say things to get a rise and reaction, and I have a problem with that. I don't like that. We're TexAgs Radio. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We're here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Let's go to the News and Social Center. Jared's there. He's got some updates for us.
Yeah, but before that, I can't believe that in all that talk about 80s and 90s movies, neither one of you guys even mentioned Forrest Gump.
I liked it.
It was okay.
Everyone's seen Forrest Gump.
I guess that's the point.
No, everybody talks about it being one of the classics. It was okay. Yeah. When I saw it back in the day, I thought, oh, it was nice. And when I saw it recently with my kids, I saw it with my boys. It's okay.
I believe it won the award for Best Picture, but Shawshank Redemption should.
Yes. Yeah.
Just like Jaws did not win Best Picture.
It was up for it.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest won it.
Okay.
And believe me, I don't know a whole lot of those. I'm not that guy that knows who won, but I know about those two, for instance.
In 1989, who won the Oscar for?
I have no idea. Give me the movie and I might know.
Jared, are you a big Forrest Gump guy?
I don't know. I thought it was a good movie, personally.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie, yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the only movie from the era that I've seen, but...
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie Twins?
I have not.
I love that movie.
Classic.
By the way, Jared, how are you at ping pong?
I'm pretty good. Better at pickleball,
though. Kind of like Forrest Gump, huh?
Have you ever played pickleball, Obi?
No, I haven't. I've eaten pickles. I've never played pickleball.
Anyway, going into some A&M baseball news. Wanted to start it off. Former Texas A&M third baseman Trevor Werner. He wins the Cape Cod Player of the Week. Cape Cod League is one of the top collegiate baseball leagues in the country. I had 4 doubles, 1 grand slam, hitting .391.
Me gusta.
I wish you would have hit like that this spring.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying, those summer leagues are a lot more relaxed. People can kind of feel out their swing a little bit more, so you don't have as much pressure put on you. Has 10 RBIs as well just last week alone. But then a man who could potentially replace Trevor Werner this year, we had a new transfer, Charlie Pagliarini, committed to A&M out of the transfer portal from Fairfield. So a smaller conference, but he was the MAAC Player of the Year, hit .399, which is outstanding, with 24 home runs.
I think it's pretty good, yeah.
So
like
24 home runs, maybe that can help add to the power that Trevor Werner had or did not display last year, like OB was trying to say.
I'm going to go out on a limb and predict that, what's the kid's name from Fairfield?
Charlie Pagliarini.
That he's going to be Lucci's favorite player.
You think so?
Yeah.
So are you saying if there was a player by the name of, I don't know, Felipe Canseco who played for A&M, I would be all about it.
I kind of believe that.
I kind of do like Anderson Garcia. He is kind of my favorite.
And, throw out some redneck East Texas white trash name, and I guarantee he'll be my favorite one.
You know who my favorite is? Anybody who plays well.
There you go.
And is a good citizen.
J.B. Moss, I think he was an East Texas guy.
I love J.B. Moss. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Sorry, Jared, anything else for us?
Really, the only question people have is, will he be able to produce those kinds of numbers at the SEC level?
Sure.
No. But we shall see.
I will say right now, I doubt he'll hit 400.
But can he be really quality good?
But he can be good, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, look, we're up for a break, and I have to apologize. So should we wait for Stephen McGee to play the soundbite that I want to play? You know what? We might do that.
Yeah.
We might do that because, look, I promised you all. I don't know if you've noticed. I haven't been Temper Nuño. Like, it's been a minute. Like, when's the last time I really got mad on air?
Yeah, probably it's been at least
3 days.
3 days.
No, it's been long, right?
Yeah.
I would say since SEC Mike.
I mean, you got mad at
Nuño.
David on the text line yesterday. Remember
We all,
that?
but wait,
you
we all
banned him, but I did get mad. I was like,
I don't think you liked his text either. I'm going to speak for the group.
I'm gonna push back on that, but
Okay.
again, it's been 24 hours.
So we're doing the
since.
good cop, bad cop thing, right?
Sure.
All right. No, Dave has been banned. David Edmonds been banned. I don't even remember why I banned him. He's just always negative. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give him your number.
Yeah.
And he can start texting you.
Oh, that's fine.
I know. You actually will respond.
Yeah.
I'll put him on block.
I like David Edmond.
I do too, but he's very negative. Everything's negative. He got mad at you for talking about Vince Young. I don't want that kind of propaganda on my radio.
People get mad at me for a lot of things. I'm used to it.
Yeah. You're also a want to fight guy too, in a different way. You are. When you get mad, the gloves come off.
I think that there's some truth to that, but as I've gotten older, I've mellowed out somewhat.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somewhat, I said.
Oh, me too. Me too. That's why I'm learning what I'm learning.
I think when you get to the age where it hurts to lift your arm above your shoulder, it's probably a good time to quit getting out of the...
The toughest guys, for sure, are the quietest ones.
The guys that don't talk about it.
They don't talk about it. They avoid conflict.
Yes.
But the moment you engage with those guys, it's a wrap. And during That's Bullcrap, I'm going to show you one of those.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to show you one. There's a lot of teases today. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back here on TexAgs Radio, Stephen McGee is going to be with us. But right now, we're talking about the Association of Former Students. So I mentioned today's 2-year anniversary of doing TexAgs Radio. Thank you to everybody who has been a part of the journey with me. Thank you very much. We moved here because we want to live in Aggie land. Obviously, I wanted to work at TexAgs, but we wanted to live in this community. Thought it was a perfect environment for my family, for my wife and kids. And I know a lot of you are considering that, have thought about it. You're just looking for an opportunity to move out there, and that's what the association's doing right now. They've got some great jobs open to hire professionals to join their team. They got positions open in communications, fundraising, former students programs, web operations, and much more. They are the nation's leader in premier alumni associations and the oldest organization serving the A&M network here, the Aggie Network. They play a huge part in every Aggie story from here to Howdy. Don't miss the opportunity to help out the association with Howdy Socials, Aggie Rain Day, class reunions, Aggie Muster, and everything in between. If you're interested in joining the team or sharing with someone that would be a great fit, please visit tx.ag/association jobs to apply and get more information for each position. It's the Association of Former Students.
The TexAgs way. If you come at the king, you best not miss. It's TexAgs Radio with Lucci and Nuño.
Finding and buying your dream home creates a special kind of excitement, and Lone Star Realty Group is ready to help you experience that excitement. At Lone Star, every client is a priority, and every client is treated like family. They combine cutting-edge technology from Compass with a hometown touch to provide a concierge experience like no other in the Brazos Valley. Whether you're buying or selling, you'll get the help you need from Lone Star Realty Group. Experience, integrity, results. Click LoneStarBCS.com.
Are you feeling run down, sluggish, having difficulty losing weight? You could have low testosterone. It's common. In fact, about 40% of men have low T after age 40. Apex Health in College Station is here to restore your energy, sharpen your focus, and boost your performance. Women can also benefit from testosterone replacement therapy. For a limited time at Apex Health, get your T-test for just $35. Get your edge back with a personalized health plan from Apex Health. Schedule your free consultation today at apexhealthclinic.com.
Are you looking for investment options that potentially outpace today's high inflation environment? Concerned about recent banking failures or the volatility of the stock and crypto markets? Call Caliber to learn how you can invest in commercial real estate investments right here in Bryan College Station that support the community while producing real returns for investors. Caliber, the wealth development company, partnering with the community to build a better tomorrow. 979-977-2950. That's 979-977-2950. The investments and services offered may not be suitable for all investors. You should seek advice from an independent financial financial advisor.
David Nuño here to talk about how much I love Legacy Workspaces, located in the heart of College Station on Longmire. Let me tell you something. Big box office spaces done, finish, done. Legacy Workspaces is leading the way in modern, affordable, impressive officing. So many great amenities like reserved parking, free office supplies on demand, impressive conference rooms to host your clients, and some of the best coffee in town. Ay que rico, repeatedly voted best of the Brazos Valley. Visit legacyworkspaces.com and leave your legacy today.
The biggest names in sports are on ESPN Radio.
Tyler Conklin, Jets tight end with us.
You know, bringing Aaron in and how you are outside of football is going to help on the football field, right? If life's good outside of football, if you're happy outside of football. I think he's excited to be in New York, and I think that's going to directly carry over to him playing good football.
Wyndham Clark, 2023 U.S. Open champion, joining us.
It's still a little surreal. Just got off a plane about 3 hours ago, and I'm here now. So it's been a whirlwind.
Great Rick Fox, ladies and gentlemen, three-time NBA champ.
I don't think he's going to move unless Portland Trailblazers just get the value for him, move him on to greener pastures, do him a favor by moving off of him, and get a bunch of picks and a bunch of players.
Atlanta Hawks assistant coach and former Notre Dame basketball coach Mike Bray.
23 South Bend winners. I'm in Atlanta now. I think this is going to work. I'm into this.
Listen in to ESPN Radio, weeknights and weekends on Sports Radio, 1150 and 93.7 FM.
And we're back, TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Steve McGee is with us here from Paragon Financial. Stephen, how are you, buddy?
Hey, good morning. Doing great.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, likewise.
It is the Go Hour presented by the Warehouse at CC Creations. All right, so we were going to play this in the last segment, but we got sidetracked talking Stallone and movies that Nick's never watched, which kind of caught me off guard. I do have a Stallone question for you in a minute on buy, sell, lease, all right? But before we do that, are you familiar with Aaron Murray?
Yes.
I'd like for you to hear some comments he made that flourished on my timeline earlier this morning. Here's Aaron Murray.
Texas A&M will never own Texas. They will forever be viewed as the little brother in the state of Texas. Regardless of where the programs are, they will always be viewed as the little brother in that state. Texas had its own damn network. Texas is significantly bigger. It's like the Yankees and the Mets. I just don't think A&M is a program that is going to be consistently winning championships. It's just not. I don't care what the dollar amount is that you're going to throw out there.
Interesting. He doesn't care about the dollar amount that you're going to throw out there, although Texas is throwing out dollar amounts as well. I don't know. I just feel like people make comments sometimes just to rile up an audience, just to get people to like, comment, and come after you. Just stupidity.
Yeah. I mean, it's that time of year when everybody says stuff that ultimately doesn't even matter, right? It's off season, it's slow, and it's you got to create headlines one way or the other. I get it. I mean, look, at the end of the day, Texas has had people get mad at me for saying this, but it's what makes the rivalry great. If Texas was a terrible football program, there would be no rivalry. It'd be like beating up on Prairie View A&M. That's not a rivalry. But because they have a history of excellence, they've won national championships, and they have the Texas brand and play in a state where football is important, they're going to have a strong program. Even though they've struggled mightily for them, especially in the last decade plus. So I think that they will be back, and I think that's going to make this great. Now, to say that A&M will be considered the little brother, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I think we're hopefully on the re-emergence onto the national scene, or I guess the emergence, if you will, onto the national scene, and we're competitive. OB, do you agree or no?
First of all, A&M has a larger enrollment than Texas, so when he says that Texas is bigger, is wrong.
True, right.
Secondly, I always thought, and this plays in what he's saying, A&M was always its own worst enemy, and in the last few years, is the first time in A&M's history that I believe that everybody's all in on what it takes to be a good football program. So it's not going to happen immediately. Shouldn't have had to step back to that last year, but I think that A&M is still building, and it's not far away from breaking. I'm not saying they're going to win the national championship, but it's going to be a contender. And then lastly, I'll just say Michael Corleone was Fredo's younger brother.
I like this. I like it a lot.
Vincent Chase was Johnny Drama's younger
Oh,
brother.
I like the way you're going.
So it's kind of like that. Yeah, I guess we are, because I could see Texas, especially lately, kind of identifying with Fredo.
Fredo.
Yeah, kind of retarded. Okay.
So
I know it's a word you're not supposed to use anymore, but since we're talking about the Bebos,
Since we're talking movies, Steven, we're gonna do a little Sylvester Stallone.
Little segue here.
Yeah, I want to do a buy, sell, lease. Action stars from the 80s, all right?
You think that'll show up on any Texas?
Yeah.
You think?
So, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know why I did it. It wasn't even Arnold's accent. It was British. Or Jean-Claude Van Damme, all right? I want to buy, sell, lease.
I'm going to buy Arnie.
Okay.
I'll sell Sylvester, and I will I'm going to lease Sylvester, and I'm going to sell
Jean-Claude.
Jean-Claude.
Give me your reasons.
I love Arnie. I love the scene when he says, "Get in the chopper now." I don't know. I have more strong memories with Arnie than the other two.
Okay.
That's why I favor him.
All right. OB?
I will buy Stallone.
Yep.
Because not only is he a guy that got jacked and all the fitness, he's actually a good actor and writer. I mean, he's. I will.
He's actually good.
I will sell. We're all
Van Damme.
Yeah, nobody cares. In a real fight, he'd probably win between the three.
Yeah, but I'd sell him because
he's
does he really do anything?
No.
And then I guess I'd have to lease Schwarzenegger. I like some of his movies, but lately some of the things he's made, some public comments he's made lately, has made me
sour on him
a lot.
I think I'd rather hang with Arnold. I saw his documentary recently on Netflix. It was fantastic, right?
Really?
Yeah.
I got to watch that.
But I'm buying Stallone movies because my childhood was all about Stallone movies, and I didn't find Arnold's movies as good. I know he's got some classics, obviously.
Yeah.
I am leasing Arnie and selling Jean-Claude because I don't think I've ever liked the Jean-Claude movie. And I know he was very popular in the 80s and 90s.
What was his Bloodsport?
Bloodsport was very popular.
Okay,
yeah.
that's the only one I know.
He was in a couple other ones.
See, I never even watched that one.
I didn't either. It's just the only one I know.
I'm impressed.
Steven Seagal or Jean-Claude? Steven Seagal, right?
Yeah.
He's the guy that kind of talked like Mike Tyson, kind of had a high voice like Mike.
Did he?
Had a high voice.
We'll have to listen to that one. That's going to be good.
For a guy like supposed to be a tough guy, had kind of a maybe not a tough guy voice.
Have you heard of any of these guys? Do you know?
I mean, I know Sylvester Stallone.
You know Arnold.
And I know Arnold, but I have not watched a lot of them, no.
Huh. It's amazing.
Maybe I showed my age here, but.
It's just amazing to me.
Kindergarten Cop.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
That was great. All right. Who was the most focused or intense player that you played with at any level?
Ooh, Jason Witten, hands down.
Yeah?
Every day.
Practice, game.
Meetings, everything.
He was my favorite player while he was with the Cowboys.
Yes. You picked wisely on that one. Yes. He's the real deal, man. That guy's unbelievable.
Like writing notes during practice. Like what made him so focused and intense?
I think it's just his consistent approach and preparation. Like there was no off day for him. Like it was, despite whether we were 4-8 or 8-4 or whatever. I mean, it didn't matter. He was the same guy every day, and whether he was hurt or felt great, he practiced the same way. He practiced one speed. He played one speed, and in meetings, he was one of the smartest football players that I ever played with. He knew every facet of the game, and he was a true champion. He wasn't the most talented guy. Don't ever hear that the wrong way. In fact, he was probably one of the lesser talented starting tight ends in the NFL. He was good, but he wasn't like a athletic phenom. But man, his approach made him so unique and so special. And just there's something to be said for someone that's just consistent, right? Like making every layup every day, right? Like just that's the difference between good and great. And Jason Witten embodied that, man. His approach was something else.
Is there an Aggie on the list that was super like just detail oriented, focus, intense?
Probably him.
Yourself?
Quite a few of those guys, actually. We had a pretty good generation of that offensive line we played with. They were intense and they were competitive. They each had their own personality. Guys like Cody Wallace, Kirk Elder, Yoder, Corey Clark. They were all very intense. They worked their tail off. They were strong. They were grinders. But other guys too. I mean, we really were forced to have, and I was thinking about some of those off-season workouts that were happening right now. That would, we would have run this morning at like 6:30 on that field, and the steam would be coming off the grass, and we were running, I think it was like 24 110s, and we hated it.
Yeah.
Like it's forever scarred in my DNA. Like I cannot digest that pain and misery that we had out on that field together. And so it's
when did they start hurting?
It's a good question. For me, about number 3.
Right.
And from there, it was just a complete battle. It's like golf. It's like, God, you start off with a triple bogey, and you're like, all right, I got to figure something out. I got to hold it together.
Yeah. Oh.
It's hard, man. It's people. That's the part that I don't think that people on the outside that have never played at that level really get to appreciate. Is how difficult those workouts and that off-season grind can be.
Yep. OB looks like you got something to say.
No, I'm just thinking. 24 110s. That's extreme.
That is extreme.
I mean, 24 of them. You get through 20, and you're like, oh man, I made 12. I got 4 more of these to go. That's.
I'm sure there's some track athlete out there like laughing.
Yeah,
like I
laughing,
could jog that in my sleep, but for a bunch of guys that were not.
Well, how hard were you work running them?
So that's a good question. It was, I think we had 13 seconds.
Good God.
No. 13?
I think that's right.
After 24, you're going to run a 30? And it's not 100, it's 110?
Well, the problem is the interval between. And so they would give us one timeout. You could say, hey, I want to take my timeout after 8. And then good, you can have it. But that's it. And you get like I think it was a 30-second or 1-minute timeout.
Okay.
And normally you get like 20 seconds between reps. So you're just going, you run, you get 20 seconds, then you go.
That's fast 20 seconds too, right?
Dude, it is hard.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, I could be off on the time, OB. It could be 14. The guys that I play with obviously would know. One of those guys would probably remember.
What happens if you didn't make it? The time allotted.
It doesn't count.
Doesn't count. So, and that's for the whole group.
The whole group. If one guy didn't make it.
Yeah, but you know what? I got an idea if Stephen McGee would have said, you know what, enough of this, and said, 18's enough. By the time September rolled around, I think they still would have found a way to put him on the field.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I would have been on the bench.
A future NFL quarterback, I don't think they would have. Think they would have found a place on him.
All right, when we come back, that's bullcrap coming up. I got a not bullcrap because I found it funny, and I'm sure you guys will have a couple. We'll do that when we come back on TexAgs Radio.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. You're invited to the Fun for All Bowl-a-thon, benefiting the Fun for All Playground on Saturday, August 19th at Grand Station Entertainment. Register your team today. Find more information at funforallplaygroundbcs.com. The Brazos Valley Coalition on Suicide Prevention's Suicide Loss Peer Support Group meets the second Friday of every month. For more information, email bvcosp@gmail.com. Support the Sexual Assault Resource Center through their Be a Light campaign by making a donation at sarcbv.org. Al-Anon is a mutual support program for people whose lives have been affected by someone else's drinking. Join them Sundays at 7:30 p.m. at A&M United Methodist Church. Enter to win a Texas Summer Survival Kit at zone1150.com. Enter once per day and enter each week. Enter now at zone1150.com. That's your community calendar. I'm Chelsea Reber on the Zone.
Here's Brad Beard of Intercon.
When we started Intercon in early 1991, we were well aware that we would be competing with some companies that use unscrupulous techniques to make a quick sale, such as bait and switch, or 40% off if you commit today, or misleading incomplete quotes. Intercon's practice is to be completely honest and encourage prospective customers to talk to our former customers. We've encouraged customers to get multiple quotes. We are confident and proud of our value proposition for windows, glass, and solar screens. We never want anyone to rush into a decision they will regret in the future. Just remember, warranties are only as good as the people who provide them and are servicing the area when situations arise. This is our home and only marketplace, and we will protect our home turf. You've probably heard the saying, the buck stop here, and that is with me, Brad Beard, president and co-owner of Intercon LLC.
Whether you have new construction or an existing home, let the fine folks from Intercon help your home energy efficiency year-round. Call Brad Beard of Intercon today at 823-3639. That's 823-3639.
Since 1957, Slovakic Sausage in Snook has been making the best tasting sausage in Texas from the same family recipe. Slovakic is the official sausage of Texas A&M Athletics. Whether it's from the grill to the family gathering or from the pit to the neighborhood party, serve the sausage voted best in the Brazos Valley. Serve Slovakic. Be sure to come in and check out their full-service meat market, relax on the front porch, or grab some fresh kolaches from their bakery on your way out. Slovakic Sausage, Highway 60 in Snook.
You can hear Houston Astros baseball all season, all postseason long on the Zone, 1150 AM and 93.7 FM, and select games on Gospel 97.3 FM. Astros baseball brought to you by Kelly Burt Dozer. All season long, Houston Astros baseball on the Zone and select games on Gospel 97.3 FM. Astros baseball brought to you by Kelly Burt Dozer.
We are back. TexAgs Radio presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. It is the Go Hour presented by the Warehouse at CC Creations. Olin Buchanan, Stephen McGee with us here on the program. Time for That's Bullcrap, presented by Tom Line Plumbing. For service you can trust, consider Tom Line Plumbing. Great friend of Stephen McGee, longtime trusted plumber in and around the Brazos Valley. Website, tomlineplumbing.com. All right, Stephen, what's your bullcrap?
I can't wait to hear OBs because, again, it's slow sports time of year, so you know
He'll
where we're
find
going.
something, yeah.
So mine is going to be Ben & Jerry's. They claim that the U.S. exists on stolen indigenous land on July 4th. And I guess my thought there is that, and someone brought this point up, is, well, they should sell all of their land that all their factories are on. And if it is stolen, then go ahead and return that to them, right? I mean,
Sure.
That would be the first appropriate step. But as a Texan, I am glad to know that we have a true great brand of ice cream in the state of Texas called Bluebell. And if you're still eating Ben & Jerry's, you need to read into what they have recently spoken.
I'm trying to figure out what country in the world wasn't somebody
else's.
The whole history is, fights over land.
Yeah.
In fact, the indigenous people fought over land within tribes. So
Yellowstone is about that. That's what the whole show's about.
100%.
What do you got, OB?
Well, I'm also taking a patriotic stand today.
Here we go.
So you probably saw this on 4th of July. A WNBA player named Natasha Cloud, who knew, said that the United States was trash.
Yep.
In many ways. I'm thinking, that's interesting. A country that allows you to leave if you don't like it, a country where allows you to call it trash, a country where you can make a living playing a game, even though your league loses money, that allowed you to get I assume, she went to St. John's, I assume got a scholarship and got to get a free education. A country that gives you all these things, you call trash. So again, if anyone ever needed another reason not to watch the WNBA, there's one.
Enes Kanter, you guys are familiar with Enes Kanter?
Yeah, I love this guy.
He came out, he said, people have no idea how lucky and blessed they are to be in a country like America. I'm not saying America's perfect, but trust me, you don't want to see the other side. Somebody who lived the other side. He changed his name to Eric Kanter Freedom. He changed his last name to Freedom.
Yeah, then that's not bullcrap.
No.
So I like that guy. I don't know. I wish the Mavericks would sign him, even if he can't play.
Yep, make him their guy. So mine is about a UFC fighter, Jalen Turner. Have you seen this? I
have not. I don't watch UFC.
We will not play the audio, but that prankster in the back started talking smack to him to try to catch it on camera. And you'll see the UFC fighter go straight through the throat and he's like, no, man, I'm just pranking you. And they asked Jalen about it afterwards. He's like, he's lucky it's a fight week because they're going to Vegas to fight. I would have really put some real hands on him. But so this guy goes on social media, that's his thing, and he tries to provoke fights. And he went after a UFC fighter. It could have ended very poorly.
Yeah, why do you do that? What is with this generation that does stupid? There was a guy in England that breaks into people's houses.
Breaks into their house?
Yeah, just
do that in Texas.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, because you're going to end up dead.
Right.
Is that the guy that goes to people in Lowe's and has like the big like?
I don't know if he's the same guy.
Mi
but
fuelo.
I've
That
seen
guy?
that.
Is that him?
I don't know if that's him, but he's got that same shtick, basically.
But why do you do stuff like that? And then once you get the living hell beat out of you, what are you going to call the police that you want defunded? And then say, I want to press charges because, they hit me.
It's one thing to do it to Mr. Drummond from Different Strokes, but to do it to a UFC fighter who's a trained
If you
killer.
did it for Mr. Drummond, then I think everybody should turn around and pummel you for bothering a senior citizen.
I agree.
Just
act right, for goodness sakes. What's the matter, Jared? What's the matter with you and your kid, people?
Obi, I can tell you why. He did it, and look what happened. We're talking about it. On TexAgs Radio, we're talking about a random guy.
So he won because he didn't die.
I mean, I guess.
He won for the notoriety is what Jared's
Yeah,
saying.
they're doing it for the
clout. But what are you known for now?
I mean, he did have glasses on, so we don't know. We don't know what he looks like.
Stupid. Start acting
Would you have done that if you knew that was going to be the result?
Why would you do it if you didn't know the result?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I mean, he knew it was a UFC fighter.
Would you try to pick a fight with Mike Tyson?
Absolutely.
If you knew you were going to get 2 million views.
And if somebody just busted
Well,
your
am
house,
I getting punched in the face?
Maybe.
That's not worth it. I've got
exactly.
I saw a guy that
I could get 2 million views a different way. I don't need to pick a fight with Mike Tyson.
Social media that comes up,
which is what?
What does that mean? Hold on.
OnlyFans, Jared?
Yeah.
No, I'm not making an OnlyFans. I've had too many DMs of asking me, but I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not going.
Humble brag. Humble brag.
Whoa! It's not for women. It's not for women. I can guarantee that.
Oh my God! Another brag.
Not a brag.
Triple down.
You know how many people have asked us? Olin, show your DMs.
What's a DM?
Exactly. Do you have Thread? Did you get a Thread yet?
I had a hole in my jeans.
Exactly. Have you gotten Thread yet?
I don't know what that means.
The Instagram?
Oh,
is
that
the
I
new
don't
Twitter?
have Instagram.
No, I don't. I know Twitter's going.
I got banned from Twitter.
What?
I can't even access my Twitter anymore. I love Elon Musk. I love and agree with most things he does, but he has really made Twitter hard for me to operate because I didn't log in. I get it. I didn't log in for X amount of time, but I can't even go back and access my account anymore.
That's terrible. So all these tweets we've been sending you to nowhere.
I don't get them.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? TexAgs is on Thread.
TexAgs is on Thread according to Nick. So.
Of course they are. TexAgs is always out front of everything.
You know, we're number one social media.
We're not anybody's little brother.
Exactly.
Thank you, Steven.
Good to see you guys.
Appreciate you. When we come back on TexAgs Radio, Mikado Henson's going to be in studio. Also, Toya Johnson talk about the Twin City Mission 60th anniversary Peace, Love, and Giving Gala. We'll talk about that and much more. You're listening to TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers.
Looking for podcasts of TexAgs Radio, The Louie Bellina Show, or Chip Howard? Look inside the Pod Center at zone1150.com. Don't miss a single rant, guest, or moment. You can download or subscribe to any and all of your favorite shows inside the Pod Center at zone1150.com. There's also a special selection where you can find select interviews from David, Louie, and Chip. Look up Zone interviews inside the Pod Center at zone1150.com. Download or subscribe, but don't miss out. Check out the Pod Center at zone1150.com.
Green, green, green. Building your home, making a dream. Read on your zest and make it healthy, make it clean, make it green, green, green.
Making it green is making sure the air in your dream home is healthy for your family to breathe. Building a radon-resistant home is easy. Just ask your builder or go to epa.gov/radon.
A message from the US EPA.
Get connected and be in the know with the Zone. Follow us on Twitter at Zone1150. Like us on Facebook, Zone1150. Subscribe to our daily newsletter at thezone1150.com. This is KCNE College Station Bryan.
From WTAW, I'm Chelsea Reber with a news update on the Zone. West Nile virus has been detected in Brazos County for the first time since September 2021. That's after the health district found a mosquito trap containing positive samples inside the Bryan zip code of 77803. The health district recommends limiting time outdoors, and when you are outside, use insect repellent containing DEET and wear long, loose, and light-colored clothing. The city of College Station has a pair of traffic advisories for tomorrow. One involves the ongoing expansion of Greens Prairie Road, where traffic will be stopped at 5-minute intervals tomorrow from midnight until noon as concrete is poured. A progress report was presented during the June 12th College Station City Council meeting from Capital Projects Director Jennifer Kane.
Greens Prairie widening from Dalton to Arrington Road. So this is the one that's in the city limits. It's currently under construction. We've got the other section under design in the county. Almost both sides are completely done as far as the pavement being there. They're working on the medians. They're working on the shared use path is on one side, and there's still a shared use path yet to come on the other side. Construction's about 80% complete.
Also tomorrow, traffic in the Welborn Road construction zone will shift between Rock Prairie and Balcones Drive. TxDOT Bryan District Office reports repaving will take place on Highway 6 at the north end of Bryan starting tonight and continuing through next Tuesday. A state-mandated 21-day waiting period has passed for the College Station ISD School Board and their lone finalists for superintendent.
First time in 16 years that College Station ISD has gone outside and brought in, a superintendent from outside.
Comments from CSISD Board President Jeff Horak on June 12th after Tim Harkreider was named lone finalist.
He wants to learn and listen everything that College Station ISD is doing from the top down, what he's been doing in Willis, and then how he's going to bring, maybe that here to College Station, or how everything's working in College Station and kind of mold that around what works best for the district and going forward.
Today at noon, the board is scheduled to finalize the hiring. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
I don't want to go to bed at night dreading waking up in the morning knowing that I'm going to feel like a rusty lawn chair getting out of bed and getting opened up and not being able to really move for a couple hours really throughout the day.
For former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter and those dealing with daily aches and pains, QC Kinetics regenerative pain treatments are a game changer, providing long-lasting relief.
Go into a specific joint, a specific region, and then help promote that healing process using your own body's mechanisms to heal. I mean, that's been something that's pretty powerful, and there's no surgery, there's no downtime.
QC Kinetics natural treatments help the body heal and restore itself. No more rusty lawn chair.
It's no surprise to see people being willing to try this first, especially when it has such great results.
Pain relief the natural way. QC Kinetics. Call today for your complimentary consultation. Find out if you're a good candidate for treatment.
Call QC Kinetics 979-452-6000. That's 979-452-6000. 979-452-6000.
I'm Sean Burnett with your Aggie Sports Minute on The Zone. This update is brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. Call 936-825-0500 or click hillcosupply.com. The Texas A&M track and field team has 23 athletes ready to compete at the USA Outdoor Track and Field Championships and 4 participating in the U20 Championships. Results from the meets can qualify them for a number of world events down the road. Headlining the group are Fred Curley, Athing Mo, and Bryce Dedman. 2 current members of the program, Jack Mann and Cameron Dixon, and a pair of incoming freshmen will take place in the U20 Championships. And the Aggie football program continues to impress in the recruiting world. They've now received 10 2024 commitments. It's the most commits in 1 month that Jimbo Fisher has ever received in his time at A&M. The Aggies received a big commitment Tuesday when wide receiver Cameron Coleman announced he'd be coming to A&M. With the college football season approaching, the season predictions are coming out. While the Aggies had a tough 5-7 year, it's not stopping Phil Steele from ranking the Aggies 3rd in the SEC West. He's got Alabama and LSU at the first 2 spots, followed by Texas A&M. Steele says that A&M is the clear number 3 and possibly a number 2 team. The season kicks off September 2nd at Kyle Field against New Mexico. And that's your Aggie Sports Minute, brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. On The Zone, I'm Sean Burnett.
Each Tuesday at 1:55, I'm joined inside the Charles Schwab studio by April Plemons of Long Way Home Adoptables. We get to meet our mascot of the week, a dog, a cat, an animal looking for a permanent home. The mascot of the week on the Louis Bellina Show is brought to you by Waggy Pet Zone. Have you ever wondered what goes into training a service dog? Well, you can find out inside their service dog group classes. Sign up now. Get more information at waggypetzone.com.
Bust it.
This here's a jam for all the fellas. Try to do what those ladies tell us. Get shot down.
All right, they don't have headphones on, but Young MC in the background. A great way to start the segment. TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Mark your calendars for Saturday, August 12th, as the Twin City Mission celebrates 60 amazing years with the 60th anniversary Peace, Love, and Giving Gala. To talk all about it, we got Toya Johnson in studio and Mikado Henson, Director of Football Player Development at Texas A&M. Hello, friends.
Hello, David.
How are you guys doing?
Great. Doing great. Good to be with you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Toya, let's start off with the gala. Talk to me about it. It's going to be a wonderful event. How can people be involved?
Absolutely. So the 60th anniversary gala, celebrating 60 years, Twin City Mission has been serving Brazos County and surrounding areas. We're just going to have a party. It's a 60s theme. It's going to be all 60s, all the things. So groovy, peace, love. Well, I was born in the 80s, but I know a little bit about it. So it's just going to be fun. It can be dressed as 60s attire or gala or I guess formal gala wear as well.
So, and every year people look forward, but this is going to be they're all big, but this is going to be big.
This is big. Yeah. First time event like this.
That's awesome.
We're pretty excited.
And if people want more information, they go to the website and.
Absolutely. To twincitymission.org. Okay. All the details are there. Follow us on the Instagram and Facebook as well.
Help us understand what the goal of Twin City Mission, how it started, and how we got to 60 amazing years.
Yeah, absolutely. So founded in 63, and it consists of several different programs from domestic violence, from housing and shelter. We have donation and recycling. We have volunteering. We volunteer. We have lots of volunteers from all over our community pour into Twin City Mission to serving our communities. And it's been a great organization, the oldest nonprofit organization serving our community. So we're really excited to celebrate 60 years and more, another 60 years.
Yeah. Mikado, you're here because you have your athletes sometimes help out. Talk to me a little bit about the vision of helping.
Yeah, so every year with the big event, the entire football team goes and really does a huge sweep of their property where the shelter and their community cafe are. And from inside out, from washing windows to pulling weeds to mulching to helping serve in the kitchen, serve dinner to the residents there. So our team has gone, we've helped build playgrounds, refinish playgrounds. We've presented donation checks that have helped provide guttering, things like that. And these are things from our players. They will make their own personal donations to the team. We always tell people you invest in something, you'll handle it with a little more care than it just be someone else paying for it. And so our guys really have a generous heart. They've always wanted to go out and do that. But above the big event, even the last 4 Mondays of the first 4 Mondays of June each week, we had student athletes going over to serve, just really with no fanfare, no anything, going to serve lunch in their community cafe, which feeds all the residents, and then they open it up for the community of people who might not be able to afford a meal. They're able to come in, and so our athletes go in, put the hairnet on, the apron, and they're serving the residents and engaging with people there. So it's always been a great partnership with their president, Dorothy Neville, and Ron Crozier, other people who've been heavily involved with Twin City Mission. It's been a great partnership with Texas A&M football and the mission and the shelter and what they're doing with Twin City.
Yeah, it's tell me if I'm phrasing this correctly. Your vision and your mission is to make these players better husbands, better citizens of America, just beyond the football field, and in turn, it makes them better athletes as well.
Absolutely. Everyone has a heart to serve. We just sometimes have to tap into that. Usually when we get our athletes out there, it's not long before they're coming back saying, when can we do something like this again? And so we've done our mission trips, we've done all those things, and you'll see just literally it's a revolving door of how can we get more involved in the community, whether it be after school programs, other things that we're doing. And so, yes, we definitely want to tap in. It's so much beyond football and making them a better football player, but also a better student, a better man, a better future husband, a better leader in their community, and things like that. You know, there's obviously a lot of opportunities to go down the wrong road. We're literally trying to shine the bright light and saying, no, travel down this road. It's fruitful, and there's a lot more benefits traveling down that road than any other path that you might take.
So as I was preparing for today's interview, I was like, I feel like I've known Mikado for 20 years, but I only met you like 2 or 3 years ago when I first moved here. Help me with the timeline. You worked at the Rockets for a while, right?
I did.
In the early 2000s?
Yeah, so Coach Rudy Tomjanovich, I was there the last 2 years of the Compact Center, moving into the Toyota Center. So I was their chaplain, co-chaplain with a coworker for 7 seasons. And so the Yao Ming, Steve Francis, Dikembe Mutombo era, I remember giving Yao Ming a copy of the Bible in Chinese on CD.
Okay.
And a friend of mine who worked at a ministry sent it to me. I asked, can you please send me this? Roger Holian, can you send this to me? He sent it to me. I handed it to Yao, and he said, this is my language. I said, absolutely. And he said, I don't know where to start. I said, I know where to start. And I pointed him to the Gospel of John, and he said, I'll listen to these when I'm in my truck. Oh. And I followed up, and he said, it's a good story. And I said, even better than that, it's God's perfect love story to you. And so, so I got to – and then one of my former players, Adrian Griffin, just got his first head coaching job with the Milwaukee Bucks. He and I have been praying and talking about this for years. For years. We're still super close.
I worked with him in Dallas when he was a player. Yep. Just what a phenomenal human being.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. We have stayed so close. My son, MJ, and his son, AJ, who's playing for the Atlanta Hawks now, used to run around together. But yeah, Adrian just got his first job, so he's going to influence that community, that team, that organization. I'm so proud of him. But yeah, so I was with the Rockets.
So our roads did cross. Were you there in 2001? What was your first year there? Do you remember?
I think I was.
Okay,
yeah.
Because I was in the war room. I was an intern for the Rockets when they drafted Yao. And I remember going to the West Side Tennis Club and putting all the draft packets on CD, Carol Dawson's desk. So, so we go back, and then also University of Houston.
Yes, sir.
And then here. But one thing I didn't know until this morning, you wanted to be a broadcaster.
I went, yes. My major is mass communication and broadcast media from Norfolk State University, that class of 1998. And I thought I was going to be a world-famous broadcaster, and I guess I am using the degree a lot because I do a lot of speaking and things like that. But, yeah, I had a radio show, and fun fact, my co-host on the radio show, he has been on the show Naked and Afraid twice.
What?
And, yeah, it's crazy. And everyone's like, could you see him doing that? I'm like, absolutely. Yeah. I could see him doing something like that. But, yeah, I wanted to be a world-famous broadcaster. Then the calling changed a little bit and just slightly shifted, and I am so thankful that it did.
Well, Toya, when these athletes come out and help, I'm sure it's because I know myself. There's this. I go through this when I'm helping. It's like, oh yeah, I want to do that. Yeah. And then the day comes like, man, I got so much I got to do. And then I get there and I walk and I'm like, I wish I did this more often.
That's
like
right.
There's something therapeutic about it.
It's in us.
Yeah, it's a beautiful sight to see these young men, these young athletes coming out and serving the community. It's just, and they're just so humbled and grateful to serve the community. And it's just so beautiful to see what you are doing with these young athletes and encouraging them to be a light into the community. Wow. And, you know, athletics and sports and all of that is all great. But like you said, just getting into that that space of servanthood, like you said.
They have a place of influence. It's a great platform, but it's missions like Twin City Mission Ministries, organizations that are doing the work every single day that don't get the accolades and those things like that. That's why the 60th anniversary celebration is so important and vital and amazing, because groups like Twin City Mission are doing the work every single day.
Every day.
We may get some of the credit because we'll go sporadically throughout the year, but they're doing it every single day when there are no cameras around and nothing going on. So we, in turn, celebrate them and how they're doing it and what they're doing.
McCall, I want to ask you one other sports question.
Okay.
Boxing. I know you've done some announcing. You still do it sometimes?
Do. Yeah, I just did Steaks and Stogies
a
couple weeks ago. Yeah.
And you had a relationship with Pernell Whitaker.
Yes,
right?
sir.
And you were there for one of the Holyfield fights up close, right?
Yeah, my really good friend Chris Bird fought him for the IBF championship.
Take us through a little bit of some of that journey.
Yeah, so boxing is my favorite sport, and when I was in college, my favorite boxer of all time, rest in peace, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker, was in Norfolk, Virginia. I'm the type of guy that I'm just going to walk in the gym and see if I have a chance to meet him. Yeah. And I did, and we developed somewhat of a friendship, so I would go on a regular basis to the gym. Arturo Gatti would be in there training and sparring. I remember my daughter was 9 months old and a baby carrier. That's how excited I was about going to the gym. I took my daughter. My wife couldn't be. We're going to the gym. She had no idea what was going on. So Arturo Gatti was jump roping for 30 minutes, and we're just talking the entire time. And so my good friend Chris Bird, met him. I loved where he stood in his faith and how he represented even in the ring. He's a 92 Olympian, silver medalist. But anyway, long story short, he ended up fighting Evander Holyfield in Atlantic City in 2002. And I got to walk him to the ring for that fight. Wow. Would be there for the press conference, a weigh-in. It really was like team security, right? Then he fought at the Garden, fought Andrew Galata, a guy named Jamil McCline at the Garden. I was there in Germany when Vladimir Klitschko knocked him out and took his belt from him. With him, I was with him that whole week. And so I really, my whole deal with boxers has been ministry. They're the forgotten athlete, and a lot is always taken from them, not much given to them. And so I'm really close with the Charlo twins in Houston. Jermell is, A-Leaf. Jermell is going to be fighting Canelo September 30th.
Oh, now it's official.
It's official.
All right, let's go.
And he and I, we talked on the phone for 20 minutes last week, and we've been super close. And his brother Jamal, and a lot of the fighters in Houston, Juan Diaz, Rocky Juarez.
Legends.
Legends. And so Ronnie Shields, one of the greatest trainers, Hall of Fame trainer, is a personal friend. He used to train Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah.
So that's how he and I connected. So my boxing lineage and lines go a long ways down the line. So
am I right? And again, my memory might be fading a little bit. Sweet Pea was in the fight with Chavez that he had until the very end.
No, that's Meldrick
Taylor. Okay, sorry.
This is weird, and I don't know all these dates, but that was March 17, 1990. Don't know why I remember, but I still remember it. Richard Steele stopped the fight with 2 seconds left. Meldrick Taylor, who was an 84 Olympian with Pernell Whitaker from Philadelphia, was beating Chavez 11 out of the 11 and a half of the 12 rounds, and then got dropped and stopped with 2 seconds left. Right. He was winning on the cards. Pernell Whitaker got robbed with Julio Cesar Chavez in the Alamo Dome.
That's what it was,
Yeah,
that's right. And then just one question across the street. Just tell our audience the vibe. Everybody I've talked to says it feels great over there.
Yeah, really excited, obviously. And, that sounds like cliche and just coach talk, but it's not. Watching the guys self-govern, self-lead from the inside out has been pretty special. Watching some of the older leadership, and obviously a lot of the freshmen who were thrown into the fire last year with a lot of talent but not a lot of experience, to see how their mindset has even changed and things like that. So you got guys like Anaya Smith, Damani Richardson, McKinley Jackson, Fidel Diggs. Some of those guys, their leadership, it has been so fun to watch. It's been fun to kind of be on the undercurrent, to speak, to share, not just me, but I'm a piece of the puzzle, but a lot of people to share things with them and to see it translate into the things that they're doing. So I'm super proud of those guys. I tell them I love them and I'm proud of them all the time. And I mean that with my whole heart. They're unbelievable. And then we had a group of guys from the team go with us on our mission trip to the Dominican, May 13th through the 20th, and was so proud of them, how they served and how they represented their families, themselves, this wonderful university, and obviously the Lord too. So
I love that.
It was big time.
And Toya, let's talk about it. Peace, love, and giving. A great opportunity to connect, help, and to just celebrate an amazing organization.
Absolutely. Come out again August 12th at 7 p.m. at the Brazos Expo. Come in your 60s attire. Come support. Come celebrate.
You already got your outfit, don't you?
I do.
I know.
I do. It's going to be Tina.
Oh, is that right? All right. Perfect.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, I'm really excited. So, so come out, support. I definitely encourage you guys to just come out. We have monthly meetings at the offices, and check the website out. Come and sit in to some of our board meetings and just hear all the client stories and all the things that Twin City Mission is doing for our community. But
thank you both for coming in. It was great.
My pleasure. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
We'll see you both soon. Thank you very much.
Thanks, David.
All right.
Bye.
When we come back on TexAgs Radio, Jay LaRue, A&M diving coach here in studio. That and more on TexAgs Radio.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. The Brazos County 4-H Cake Show and Auction is Monday, August 7th at the Brazos Center. The auction starts at 7 p.m. When you don't know where to turn to 211 Texas, a free, easy-to-remember helpline that connects you to community services. Simply dial 211 or visit 211texas.org. The Community Foundation builds charitable endowment funds to benefit area nonprofits far into the future. Consider the options of building your charitable legacy with the Community Foundation at cfbv.org. Pride Community Center offers support groups to bring individuals together to address societal pressure, discrimination, and stigma regarding LGBTQ+ identity. For more information, visit pridecc.org. You can hear Houston Astros baseball all summer long on the Zone and select games on Gospel 97.3 FM thanks to Kelly Bertdozer. That's your community calendar. I'm Chelsea Reber on the Zone.
If you have a debit card, you're used to spending money. But what if your card actually ended up earning you money? That's not exactly normal, but that's what you can get at A&B. It's called Kasasa Cashback Checking. Don't mind the weird name. What you need to know is that it's a free account with cash rewards. Use your debit card for everyday purchases, and we'll pay you cash back every month. If that doesn't sound like normal banking, well, guess what? We're not a normal bank. So contact A&B today and ask for Kasasa or visit ANB.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code AUTO for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or any gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code AUTO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code AUTO for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up.
Hi, popular sports talk host Chip Howard, reminding you it's July, and that means I'm gone. Someone will be back on the air July 6th, but until then, enjoy the Independence Day holidays and be sure to patronize my sponsors like Superior Air Repair, Texas Grill Supply, Hen House Awards, and Decker Financial. I'll be back in time for football season with lots of great stories about my fabulous vacation. Remember, weekdays 4 to 6 right here on The Zone.
And we're back. TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. Let's talk a little diving. We got Coach Jay LaRue in here to talk about Jocelyn Oakley, who's going to represent Team USA at the World Championships. And Coach LaRue, I got some notes on you, and I joked with you beforehand. Can you stop? Actually, no, continue, not stop. You keep winning the Coach of the Year, 2020, 2022, and 2023. Nice little run.
That's with the SEC. It goes back a little bit with the Big 12.
Yeah, wow.
It just happens.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're at a great institution, and you've had some amazing divers with you.
Yeah, A&M has some world-class divers. I don't know if everybody's aware of it, but it's quite a tradition here at A&M.
And take me through some of the names that you've been able to coach here at Texas A&M.
Oh, we've had Grant Nell from Australia, many times Big 12 champion, NC2A finalist many times, Olympic team member. Had J.L. Patrick, another Australian.
Yeah,
she did the same thing. A lot of championships. She was an NC2A champion. It just keeps going on and on. We just seem to get lucky in the recruiting, and people are attracted to our program.
What a program to be at. Let's talk about this past season. Just kind of wrap it up for us, how it all unfolded and how it went.
This season was pretty good. It was a rebuilding season. I had to recruit some new freshmen and have some young divers that are coming up. But we've had some real good results. We had some top 5 finishes at the NC2As this year. And then Jocelyn Oakley, our new freshman, has really come on strong. She All-American in both boards this year, and then she went on to make the world team at the U.S. Nationals this year.
So take me through that, because I think it happened in May, if I remember correctly. Just how does one qualify for that, and how close was it?
It's one meet. You have to go up to West Virginia, and it's the U.S. National Championships. You either get first or second. That's it. You get first or second, you're on the team.
You're on the team, and she was able to do it. Could you tell that she was destined for greatness early on?
Oh yeah, she's got super amount of talent. She's real strong, smart. She knows what she's doing, and she competes like an animal. She's great at competing. Not much of a practice. She drives me crazy in practice, but in a meet, she comes up big.
Is that right? So
yeah.
When you say that, is it like a goofball, or like when you say the practice part, or because certain people know how to turn it on when the light goes on, they know how to turn it on.
That's Jocelyn. I had a lot of work in practice. I'm always on her about everything, this, that. And she's stubborn. But then in the meet, she just click, bam, it goes. And
is there a certain mindset on those days?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. To take me through,
it's a gift.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a gift.
And
I've had just the opposite too. I've had people look great and then they choke every time in the big show. So
is that something you can sense getting close? Like, how, as a coach, how do you know to pick it? How do you know how to push the right buttons, especially with athletes that are wired differently?
Oh, you just know your athlete very well. You know how to talk to them, how to push the buttons, when to push, when to let up. Mm-hmm. It's just knowing. Everybody's different. In diving, it's all in the brain. Yeah.
And is she already on the way? Because it's next week, right?
Yeah, she's in Japan right now at a training camp. Yep.
Okay, yeah. And how do we expect it to go?
Oh, you never know.
Yeah.
She's on a 1 meter springboard, which is a good introduction for her to the world stage. And she has those difficult dives. It's from a low level, but the dives she does are very difficult. So she's good at that. So she could do it.
Talk to me about Alyssa, who just finished up her season, senior season, and what she meant to the program.
Oh, she was awesome. Alyssa was a leader on our team. She's from Canada and Saskatoon up there in the middle of nowhere. But she was a triple threat. She was good. She dove all 3 events. You don't have that very much because the platform is a different thing in its own. It's a different animal. It beats the heck out of it. It's a contact sport up there.
Okay.
Every bit as much as football. You hit that water, 60, 80 times a week at 40 miles an hour, it'll beat you up.
Yeah.
And she handled that very well. And she was very good at all 3 events and did a great thing for our program.
How does one, in a team sport that is all individual, how does one become a team leader in that kind of environment?
Well, the personalities of divers they're all wackos. They really are. The divers are just sort of crazy people because they do that kind of stuff. And the personalities are just all over the board. And the captain, which Alyssa was, she seemed to reel them all in and get them on board with everybody else and helping each other and doing things for each other. And she's just brought the whole thing together. And it's important to have somebody like that on your team.
How did you find yourself a diving coach? How did we get here?
Well, I was a diver in high school, and I also was a skier. I was a professional skier. So Coming out of college, I was supposed to be a PE teacher. I said, nah, I didn't do this. So I went up and started being a ski bum, and I went to my first freestyle skiing, hot dog skiing, they called it back then. I went to a contest, and I won a car and $10,000 on my first event. So doing aerial acrobatics, flips and stuff on skis. So I did that for 5 years and all over the world. But I kept my hand in diving, and a thing came up at Colorado State University where I could go back to school and get my graduate degree and become the coach at Colorado State University. So I did that, and things went real well there, and I went right to another program in Milwaukee, coached there for 8 years, and then I had another program in Moultrie, Georgia for 8 years and produced. That's when I started getting kids to the world level from there, and then I went to Orlando for 15 years, had my own program. It was a private program, just like a gym. Someone would have a gym, and I got on the Olympic team there and became the Olympic head coach there, and it just sort of blossomed. And then A&M just popped up out of nowhere. One of my colleagues, Kenny Armstrong, was an Olympic coach, and he's down in Houston. He has a big program down in Houston. He goes, Jay, the A&M job's open. You interested? I said, well, I'll look. Came up here, and John Thornton just hired me. Boom.
Wow. Beautiful.
And I've been here for about 13 years.
This is an ignorant question, but how does one, beyond your story, find diving? Because, there's swim teams all over the country, right? But I feel like diving, you don't hear as much about it at the youth level. So how does one find their way to it?
Yeah, it's a tough thing. There's a lot of youth programs. My wife is a Canadian Olympian, Wendy LaRue. She runs the age group program here at the Rec. Okay. She's got a few kids. She's leaving for nationals next, and I'm recruiting a few of her divers. Okay. So she's produced some kids, but most of them come out of Spring and Houston. They drive on up here and stuff. We have a few locals, but we're trying to build it more locally. But it's tough trying to. It's a sport that's hard.
Right.
It's hard. There's fear involved. There's splatters involved, things like that. You got to learn how to, it's a contact sport, like I say. So getting kids beyond that is tough, but it works. The strong ones survive.
Well, you did mention they're a little wacko at times, right? So there's a certain mindset you have to be able to go against the water.
Exactly. We're looking for the kids like skateboarders and, those kind of that have the flair for doing something, get the adrenaline going.
Jay, last thing for you. Just give us a little preview of next season.
Well, next season going to be interesting. We got Alan Bottego, is very talented. I mean, he can do dives that nobody else in the world can do, and he's coming on strong. He was a gymnast, didn't dive very much, and he's already gotten to the NC2A level in the top 5. So I'm expecting a lot out of him. And we got another kid from Lubbock, a local boy. He's come a long way, and he's a platform guy. Okay. He's got that mindset, and he finaled at the NC2As this year. So next year, and he's been here all summer working hard. And then we got Victor Ponzer. He's our senior, and he's the Canadian national champion. He just won both boards up in Canada. And I think he has a possibility of winning again at the NC2As. He's that good. He's a big, strong guy, does all the huge dives. 4.5s and all that kind of stuff. And then we have a kid from Japan, Takato Endo. He's really coming into his own. He's a Japan national team diver. So we're very strong in the men.
Yeah.
Women, we got Jocelyn, and we've got another girl named Mason Richards. Used to be a world age group champion, but she sort of quit diving for a while, went through some hard times mentally. Now she's back. And she's really happy here. She transferred from Arkansas. And then we got the recruiting trail going on the women.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jay, I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah.
And we'll be paying attention and see what Jocelyn does there at the championships.
Love it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
When we come back here on TexAgs Radio, Aaron Torres, that's next on TexAgs.
David and OB.
Not getting killed, he's getting mad.
David and OB on TexAgs Radio.
Now bust this guy's teeth out.
Since 1957, Slovakic Sausage in Snook has been making the best tasting sausage in Texas from the same family recipe. Slovacek is the official sausage of Texas A&M athletics. Whether it's from the grill to the family gathering or from the pit to the neighborhood party, serve the sausage voted best in the Brazos Valley. Serve Slovacek. Be sure to come in and check out their full-service meat market, relax on the front porch, or grab some fresh kolaches from their bakery on your way out. Slovacek Sausage, Highway 60 in Snook.
We're here with Jackson Rollo from Rollo Insurance. And Jackson, you guys have been around for a long time. You're the very best at what you do. But I ask you, why Rollo Insurance?
Well, we've been growing recently with over 45 offices in multiple states. But we haven't lost who we are. We're still super focused on being hyper-local and involved in the communities in which you're going to find a Rollo Insurance office. And we offer products like home, auto, life, health, and business insurance from some of the top carriers in our industry.
You name it, they do it. Visit RolloInsurance.com.
Are you feeling run down, sluggish, having difficulty losing weight? You could have low testosterone. It's common. In fact, about 40% of men have low T after age 40. Apex Health in College Station is here to restore your energy, sharpen your focus, and boost your performance. Women can also benefit from testosterone replacement therapy. For a limited time at Apex Health, get your T-test for just $35. Get your edge back with a personalized health plan from Apex Health. Schedule your free consultation today at apexhealthclinic.com.
Imagine buying a pair of sneakers and getting a soothing, gentle foot massage like you'd get during a relaxing pedicure just by walking. Skechers' new Massage Fit sneakers. Because Skechers, the comfort technology company, has designed a unique innovation that makes it feel like you're pampering your feet with a gentle massage in every step. The secret is Skechers' new patented wave technology on the sole that gently massages your feet while you're walking around. Find them for men and women at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
The biggest names in sports are on ESPN Radio.
Tyler Conklin, Jets tight end with us.
You know, bringing Aaron in and how you are outside of football is going to help on the football field, right? If life's good outside of football, if you're happy outside of football, I think he's excited to be in New York, and I think that's going to directly carry over to him playing good football.
Wyndham Clark, 2023 U.S. Open champion, joining us.
It's still a little surreal. I just got off a plane about 3 hours ago, and I'm here now. So it's a whirlwind.
The great Rick Fox, ladies and gentlemen, three-time NBA champ.
I don't think he's going to move unless Florida Trailblazers just get the value for him, move him on to greener pastures, do him a favor by moving off of him, and get a bunch of picks and a bunch of players.
Atlanta Hawks assistant coach and former Notre Dame basketball coach Mike Bray.
23 South Bend winners. I'm in Atlanta now. I think this is going to work. I'm into this.
Listen in to ESPN Radio, weeknights and weekends on Sports Radio, 1150 and 93.7 FM.
Oye, ¿cómo va? David Nuño, TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. I know I've asked Aaron Torres before if he speaks Spanish, but Aaron, you don't speak Spanish, do you?
A little bit, poquito. Like I pretty much understand everything. I can't always speak it back. Like as an example, and I'm going to do the thing where it sounds like I'm doing something to get like a response out of you, but I'm not. But I'll give you a perfect example. So today is my birthday, and I'm not telling you that because, oh, my God, tell Torres happy birthday. But my in-laws just called me, and, they don't really speak very good English. They gave me the whole cumpleaños, blah, 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 blah. And, I knew what they were saying, but I didn't know how to articulate it back with the right, what's the term? Like the right, tenses and stuff like that. So I knew what they were saying. I just can't always say it back. And again, that was not a thirst trap, wish me a happy birthday thing. That was just an example of, I get Spanish, but I don't, I can't always speak it back, if that makes sense.
I get it. I'm fluent, but I lose it sometimes. Right? Like, I don't lose
Do you?
Yeah, I mean, I lose certain vocabulary, like where I was like, Bronny's seen me do this, like where I know the word, but like it doesn't come to my brain as quickly as I want it to, so I'll do a Spanglish conversation, right? Oye, vamos a ir ahí, donde está the place? Something like that, right? I'll go back and forth.
I will say, it was funny. We had this conversation on radio the other day. I was filling in, and we have a great update anchor named Monty was born in Costa Rica, but we were talking about these people that can speak like 5 languages. it's like, do you understand, like, when you know, like exactly what you just said is that, you know, the ability to convert words in your head, and English is obviously my first language, so sometimes a Spanish word will escape me in the moment. My wife's first language is Spanish, so sometimes an English word will escape her in the moment. These people that speak like 5 languages, how do they do it? And I know most of them probably learned when they were like 4 or 5 and when they were young and their brains were still developing. It's just like the most incredible skill that, like, there's a lot of things I think, you know, I could run a mile in under a certain amount of time if I trained for it. I could bench press a certain weight if I trained for it. I don't think there's ever a point left in my life where I could be fluent in like more than maybe 2 languages.
I 100% agree, but I'm more intrigued by the running under a certain time. What time do you think that time would be? Or the bench press? Well, how high can we go, Aaron?
Well, so I now I'm going to sound like the guy, but I am a washed-up ex-athlete. I'm 85% sure that I have a torn labrum right now, so I'm not pushing it too hard on the bench. You know, I can get up to 225 if I need to. It's not something that I'm just doing on a casual Tuesday afternoon just to show off. But I don't know what I could max out at if I really tried. But the point is, I do think, you know,
you can train to it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only point I was trying to make. Is like, I think I could train to a certain number. I think I could train to a certain number in the mile. I don't think I could just train my brain to be fluent in 5 languages, even if I took like a year and dedicated myself.
I feel that. Hey, so recruiting, like what's happening here in College Station and a couple other places too, caught your attention. Like, you don't always talk recruiting, but I saw that you were tweeting about it. It's good things are happening here in College Station again.
They are, you know, yeah, I'm not first of all, there are great guys and girls that cover it 365 days a year. I'm not one of those guys that parachutes in and claims to be an expert. But what I do like to look for is different trends. You know, I think Ohio State getting elite defensive players this weekend is interesting. USC getting elite defensive players is interesting. And by the way, you know, the other reason I talked about it was July 4th just turned into a huge recruiting weekend because of all the camps and everything during the month of June. I bring it up all that to come full circle. Yeah, I mean, it was obviously a great weekend for Texas A&M. You know, the Cam Coleman kid, I mean, listen, I'll be blunt. You know, I was talking to my Auburn people. They seemed very excited about the possibility of having him visit later in the month of July. And, you know, obviously, it's something I know you guys have talked about is I think they felt like they were in pretty good shape for him. So for Jimbo and Damian Craig to come in and swoop and get that done without him having another visit, I think, one, it's obviously a great get, but 2, what it really sets up to me, David, and this is something, you know, we've talked about for, you know, really the whole offseason is, you know, if Bobby Petrino does his job, right, and some of those close losses turn into close wins, I know the national people don't want to hear it, and I think to a degree A&M people don't even want to hear it, but now you really build momentum towards that junior year when that 22 class are now juniors. Most of them have 2 years of experience on the field. And now you're supplementing them with another elite recruiting class, which is, it appears as though A&M is set to sign in 24 to back them up. That's how you build a championship caliber roster, right? I mean, it's cliche, but it's true. Is part of the reason I don't talk recruiting is because one player and even one class doesn't guarantee you anything. The Georgias and the Alabamas have done it year after year after year. It's something Jimbo has done, but I just think if you can supplement that 22 class going into the 24 season with some really young talent in the backup spots, I just think that sets up for what could be a very special year. Again, I know Aggie fans don't want to hear it. I know that certainly other fans don't want to hear it, but that's what really stands out to me about what Jimbo could potentially be doing in this 24 class. It's about building that depth for what could be a special 24 season.
AT, outside of A&M, because I think you're somewhat high on A&M, who's a team that struggled last year that you expect to take a big step up this year?
So it's funny, you know, and it's funny because we just talked about this team, but more specifically their quarterback during the draft cycle. I think there's a possibility that Kentucky just got a quarterback upgrade with Devin Leary. You know, you talk about a guy like 2 years ago, he threw, I think, 36 touchdowns at NC State. NC State that year beat Clemson, had a ton of success. I think it was a 9-win season. I can't remember all the details off the top of my head. But, there was talk of him going to the NFL that year, comes back for what's supposed to be kind of a banner senior season last year, gets hurt, and just decides to start over somewhere else. And so you look at Kentucky, offensive line was definitely a weakness last season. They shored it up this offseason. They added up probably 4 or 5 guys in the portal, some high-level, backups from big-time schools like Oklahoma, Alabama, or Ohio State, Alabama that that just couldn't get on the field at those spots. And so they've always been good on defense. And now if that offense, it's kind of like A&M, right? If the offense is just incrementally better, I think they have a chance to be a pretty good team. Now, you're in a division with Georgia, so we know there's a ceiling there. But is that a program that I think a lot of people would assume you'd be heading in the wrong direction in the post-Will Levis era? Well, one, I'm not a huge Will Levis guy, but two, I think there's a chance that there's an upgrade at that quarterback position. And I think Kentucky out of the East could be very, very, very interesting.
All right, I'm going to ask you the reverse of that question. Who's a team that's been pretty good that's going to take a big step backward? How about that?
Great question.
Thank you.
First of all, listen, so I said this last year and it came back to bite me. So I got to be careful here. I don't really see the South Carolina hype. Like, I see a lot of people have them as a fringe top 25 team. Depending on how you feel about Joe Milton, maybe the second best team in the East. I just don't see it. Like Spencer Rattler, I get he's a big name, but he really had about he was great in the final 2 or 3 games, but he was really not very good for most of the season. I know they bring back their top wide receiver, Juice Wells, but they lost a lot of their other skill position guys. The defense was fine, but it wasn't great. And I get it. They beat Tennessee, they beat Clemson to end the regular season. There's reason for excitement. I guess I'm just a little hesitant. And I'll say this outside of the SEC, and I'm not just saying it because I'm on in College Station. I don't get the Texas hype. I really don't. And I know it's like an annual, somebody hypes them up and then, whatever. And it's kind of a cliche thing to talk about. We understand Steve Sarkisian's been a college head coach for a decade and has, on and off, obviously, but he has 1 9-win season, 0 10-win season. And oh, by the way, go back and look at Quinn Ewers. I know we all remember the first half against Alabama last year before he got hurt. He wasn't very good the rest of the season. And so if you're asking me, to believe in Sark and believe in Ewers, I just don't do it. And that's just one to me. I don't get the hype. And I swear I'm not just saying it because I'm on in College Station. Actually said the same thing to your boy Ryan Fowler in Tuscaloosa yesterday. It was I just don't get the hype with this team. I think they'll be fine, but this thing that they're going to make the leap from 8 wins to playoff this or, Big 12 champ that, I just need to, I'll believe it when I see it.
AT, what do you think about the potential, and it looks like it's probably going to happen, of shortening the transfer window?
Yeah, I don't know. I think at least with basketball, and David, I haven't gotten clarification on football on this, so you let me know. But in basketball, grad transfers are still able to transfer right now. We saw Javon Quinterly from Alabama enter the portal probably about 10 days ago now. And so I do think probably the grad transfer window needs to be narrowed. I don't know that I really have a fundamental issue with the amount of time the window's open. Now, what I would like to do is push back the dates a little bit. I don't think the day after conference championship games is the time you should do it. I really think there should be a week or two cooling off period. And the reason being is that, one, finals are going on. You can't take visits anyway from a football perspective. But two, I also just think, David, even in the media, I'm not trying to compare myself to a gladiator that's going to battle, 12, 13, 14 times a year as a college football player. But when you're with the same group of guys every single day from essentially, August 1 to December, whatever, and you're beat up and you're tired, you want to get away from those people as fast as possible. And I do think that's a lot of why we see the numbers that we do in the portal is part of it is obvious reasons, but I think part of it is just a fatigue factor. And so I would like to see from the football perspective, I don't think we need to open it the day after conference championship games, give it a week, whatever. And then I would also say from the basketball perspective, I don't think we need to open it the day after Selection Sunday. which is when it opens in the spring, because I do think that is a disadvantage for teams that were actually good enough to make the NCAA tournament. So I don't have so much of a problem with the length of the window, but I think both of them could probably be pushed back a week or two to kind of, ease everybody into it rather than everybody just jumping in the second season in.
AT, last thing for you. Aggie Hoops, you got them number 15 in your way too early rankings. Just give us a little bit of your rationale there.
Yeah, my rationale is everything that I said last week, because I remember us talking about it, is I think especially in basketball, right? I mean, and it goes to what we just talked about, right? April is such now an active time in basketball where you see, a lot of teams, look at a school like Arkansas. I mean, I think they have another 7 new players this year. I think they had 9 new players last year. So April, May has become such an active time that when you just retain a bunch of guys, it just goes under the radar. It's not talked about because, this school added this player, that school added that player, Alabama added this guy, Auburn added that guy, Kentucky just added 2 guys in the last 2 days or whatever. And so with A&M, you have a team that finished second in the SEC. I thought, and we talked about this during the season, I remember this, is, over the final probably 2 months of the year from about mid-January to mid-March, I know it didn't show in the NCAA tournament, but I thought they were playing as well as anybody in college basketball for a long stretch of the season. Now you bring back the vast majority of that team. I know Buzz has kind of supplemented it through the transfer portal. I just think there's a lot of reason for excitement, especially, again, for a team that basically returns everybody in a conference that Kentucky has major roster turnover. Alabama does. Arkansas does. All those schools that outside of A&M were at the top last year. Well, now all of a sudden A&M returns a lot. Obviously, Buzz has, his guys, his OKGs, and I think they're going to be really good next year. And I think it'll be an exciting time for Aggie Hoops.
AT, I appreciate you, brother. Talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you, sir. Have a great day. Thank you.
You too. Aaron Torres here from Fox Sports Radio and Aaron Torres Online. And that, my friends, is Around College Athletics, brought to you by Milliken Reserve, a College Station community featuring homes, trails, wide open spaces, and a mission to build a healthy community around nature. Take part in that Milliken Reserve community with a Conservancy membership. Learn more at millikenreserve.com. All right, open segment when we come back. It's TexAgs Radio.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. You're invited to the Fun for All Bowl-a-thon, benefiting the Fun for All Playground on Saturday, August 19th at Grand Station Entertainment. Register your team today. Find more information at funforallplaygroundbcs.com. The Brazos Valley Coalition on Suicide Prevention's Suicide Loss Peer Support Group meets the second Friday of every month. For more information, email bvcosp@gmail.com. Support the Sexual Assault Resource Center through their Be a Light campaign by making a donation at sarcbv.org. Al-Anon is a mutual support program for people whose lives have been affected by someone else's drinking. Join them Sundays at 7:30 p.m. at A&M United Methodist Church. Enter to win a Texas Summer Survival Kit at zone1150.com. Enter once per day and enter each week. Enter now at zone1150.com. That's your community calendar. I'm Chelsea Reber on the Zone.
The flagship station for Aggie Athletics is The Zone. Whenever the Aggies are playing, you can hear them right here at 1150 and 93.7 FM. Thanks to our listeners and Aggie broadcast sponsors, Pioneer Steel, Rudy's Barbecue, The Sleep Station, and Prosperity Bank. Here's a big gig to all these sponsors. Listen to Aggie Athletics on The Zone 1150 and 93.7 FM.
If you have a debit card, you're used to spending money. But what if your card actually ended up earning you money? That's not exactly normal, but that's what you can get at A&B. It's called Kasasa Cashback Checking. Don't mind the weird name. What you need to know is that it's a free account with cash rewards. Use your debit card for everyday purchases, and we'll pay you cash back every month. If that doesn't sound like normal banking, well, guess what? We're not a normal bank. So contact A&B today and ask for Kasasa or visit ANB.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Voted best in the Brazos Valley since opening, Cooper's Old Time Pit Barbecue takes pride in procuring the best cuts of meat and has a passion for providing you with the best barbecue. Cooked cowboy style over mesquite coals. With a full bar, large dining area, 2 party rooms, and porch with a fenced turf grass area for the kids, there's no wonder why they're the best. Experience the taste of locally Aggie-owned, nationally recognized Cooper's Old Time Pit Barbecue. Proud supporter of Texas A&M Athletics.
You can hear Houston Astros baseball all season, all postseason long on the Zone, 1150 AM and 93.7 FM, and select games on Gospel, 97.3 FM. Astros baseball brought to you by Kelly Burt Dozer. All season long, Houston Astros baseball on the Zone and select games on Gospel, 97.3 FM. Astros baseball brought to you by Kelly Burt Dozer.
Slip inside the eye of your mind. Don't you know you might find.
All right, we're back. TexAgs Radio. Just found out Alonzo Highsmith joining the show tomorrow. Looking forward to catching up with Zoe. Works at the University of Miami. Obviously, you know his college football history at the U, his time with the Oilers, head of scouting, I believe, for not only the Packers, but the Seahawks for a while. Now he's with Miami. We'll chat with Zoe a little bit tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Right now, we're talking Caprock Health System, highly personalized emergency care, that their patients benefit from a very unique one-on-one experience when you go there. So should your stay require you to be there a little bit longer, their team is going to get to know you and your individual needs and manage every element of your visit. They have a very low doctor-to-nurse ratio, which means they're going to get to know you and take care of you at all times. It's hotel-quality rooms. You never have to worry about being in an ugly little environment, right? The environment makes a big difference when you don't feel good. They want to make sure that you're feeling great when you go to a Caprock Health System. They're 100% locally owned and operated, and they put the patient first in every decision that they make. Their sole purpose is to make you feel better. You've got Caprock Hospital in Bryan and Caprock 24-hour emergency center in College Station. They both have zero wait time for emergency care, so you'll never have to sit in a crowded waiting room. Caprock Hospital in Bryan and Caprock 24-hour emergency center in College Station. All right, Jared, let's see what's cracking there on the A&B text line.
Yeah, we got a couple texts here. First one is from 903 number. It says, relatively new listener here. Every year, I make a $100 bet with my friend. The Texas Longhorns will have more regular season wins than the Aggies. He's not smart. I win every year, he says. My question, how should I spend my $100 this year since it's pretty much a guarantee that I win again? We got a confident one.
I don't know if you can guarantee anything, buddy. That's the honest truth. I think Texas is going to have a really good year. I do. I don't think they're going to have a really good year the following year. By really good year, let me rephrase that. I think they're 9-10 win good. They're going to have a couple losses that they shouldn't have. I think A&M is 9-ish kind of wins and potentially better than that. But how do you want to spend that $100? Freaking dinner, right? Like go get like a fancy dinner. A big old steak. What do you think, Jared?
I mean, I don't know if he's going to get that $100 this year, but we will see.
All right, what other text message you got for us?
We got another one. It says, why would you get Threads? Have you seen everything they collect on you? Threads is the new social media app that Meta is making to kind of rival Twitter. So,
yeah, he sent a picture about some of the things they collect. I think every app collects, and every Alexa, Amazon device, and everything, your phone, everything is collecting. Every camera you walk by when you go to a store, they're all collecting information. Who knows what they're listening to? So, yeah, I mean, it makes me not want. I didn't get on TikTok because initially people were like, oh, they'll steal all your information. I'm still not on TikTok because I'm a man and I'm old. But whatever. Sorry, Jared, that was a shot at you. I didn't mean it that way.
That's all right. I see how it is. But nah, I feel like everyone just collects information at this point. I haven't had a big issue yet, but hopefully those words don't come to bite me in the butt. So
it's coming there right now. All right, when we come back here on TexAgs Radio, we'll talk to a Mississippi State insider, get a little lowdown on them. It's next on TexAgs.
Gotta be connected with The Zone. Follow us on Twitter or Instagram at The Zone 1150. Like us on Facebook at The Zone 1150. Programming alerts, prize updates, scores from games all across Bryan Broadcasting, contest news, and more. Connect with us and always be in the know. Can't remember what team is playing on what station? When are they giving away what? And when is the coach on the show? Follow us on Twitter or Instagram at Zone 1150. And be sure to like us on Facebook at Zone 1150. And always be in the know.
Reading is fundamental. The nation's largest children's literacy organization invites you to rally our children to read. Visit rallytoread.org and help your child pledge to read 100 books by National Reading Month in March. Watch popular authors read their books, find activities to keep young readers motivated, and teachers can enter the Rally to Read sweepstakes for a chance to win 100 books for their school, subject to rules. Inspire your child to read. Visit rallytoread.org today.
Questions, comments, or opinions about anything and everything and all things The Zone. Send your emails to Louie at BryanBroadcasting.com. That's Louie at BryanBroadcasting.com. This is KZNE College Station Bryan.
WTAW, I'm Chelsea Reber with a news update on The Zone. West Nile virus has been detected in Brazos County for the first time since September 2021. That's after the health district found a mosquito trap containing positive samples inside the Bryan zip code of 77803. The health district recommends limiting time outdoors, and when you are outside, use insect repellent containing DEET and wear long, loose, and light-colored clothing. The city of College Station has a pair of traffic advisories for tomorrow. One involves the ongoing expansion of Greens Prairie Road, where traffic will be stopped at 5-minute intervals tomorrow from midnight until noon as concrete is poured. A progress report was presented during the June 12th College Station City Council meeting from Capital Projects Director Jennifer Kane.
Greens Prairie widening from Dalton to Arrington Road. So this is the one that's in the city limits. It's currently under construction. We've got the other section under design in the county. Almost both sides are completely done as far as the pavement being there. They're working on the medians and working on the shared use path is on one side, and there's still a shared use path yet to come on the other side. Construction's about 80% complete.
Also tomorrow, traffic in the Welborn Road construction zone will shift between Rock Prairie and Balcones Drive. And the TxDOT Bryan District Office reports repaving will take place on Highway 6 at the north end of Bryan starting tonight and continuing through next Tuesday. A state-mandated 21-day waiting period has passed for the College Station ISD School Board and their lone finalists for superintendent.
First time in 16 years that College Station ISD has gone outside and brought in, a superintendent from outside.
Comments from CSISD Board President Jeff Horak on June 12th after Tim Harkrider was named lone finalist.
He wants to learn and listen everything that College Station ISD is doing from the top down, what he's been doing in Phyllis, and then how he's going to bring, maybe that here to College Station, or how everything's working in College Station and kind of mold that around what works best for the district and going forward.
Today at noon, the board is scheduled to finalize the hiring. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
Need a place to call home? Lone Star Realty Group has a wide selection of properties to choose from. Looking for local experienced real estate professionals to work with? Well, Lone Star Realty has served the Brazos Valley for over 17 years. Want to work with a local company backed by Compass? The largest, most innovative independent brokerage in America? Lone Star Realty, a strong local brand with instant recognition, wants to meet you. Visit LoneStarBCS.com. Lone Star Realty Group. Experience, integrity, results.
Shop local, buy local, save big deals.
It's not every day you can save money. Oh, wait, you can. Hi, Jenny here from Big Deals. When you shop Big Deals, you'll save money every day on dozens of gift certificates from local businesses like these.
Whimsy and Wild Emporium, J. Cody Steaks and Barbecue, Capriotti's, and Premium Rapid Lube. Visit AggielandBigDeals.com to save big. AggielandBigDeals.com.
I'm Sean Burnett with your Aggie Sports Minute on The Zone. This update is brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. Call 936-825-0500 or click hillcosupply.com. The Texas A&M track and field team has 23 athletes ready to compete at the USA Outdoor Track and Field Championships and 4 participating in the U20 Championships. Results from the meets can qualify them for a number of world events down the road. Headlining the group are Fred Curley, Athing Mo, and Bryce Deadman. 2 current members of the program, Jack Mann and Cameron Dixon, and a pair of incoming freshmen will take place in the U20 championships. And the Aggie football program continues to impress in the recruiting world. They've now received 10 2024 commitments. It's the most commits in 1 month that Jimbo Fisher has ever received in his time at A&M. The Aggies received a big commitment Tuesday when wide receiver Cameron Coleman announced he'd be coming to A&M. With the college football season approaching, the season predictions are coming out. While the Aggies had a tough 5-7 year, it's not stopping Phil Steele from ranking the Aggies 3rd in the SEC West. He's got Alabama and LSU at the first 2 spots, followed by Texas A&M. Steele says that A&M is the clear number 3 and possibly a number 2 team. The season kicks off September 2nd at Kyle Field against New Mexico. And that's your Aggie Sports Minute, brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. On The Zone, I'm Sean Burnett.
On the Louis Bellina Show, participation is encouraged and it is rewarded. You can call me each day, Monday through Friday, 11 to 2 at 979-693-1150. You and I can hang out on the Smoothie King hotline, or maybe you're a texter, 979-693-1150. Hit send. I read all your text messages Monday through Friday, 11 to 2, inside the Texas Mobile One Lube Express inbox.
And we're back. TexAgs Radio. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. So as you know, OB is working on this series on A&M opponents and what we can expect and breaking it all down. Today's profile will be on Mississippi State, so we thought we'd complement that here on the program. We're bringing on Christopher Clifton, who's a Mississippi State insider for Talking Dogs, the podcast. Chris, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. How are y'all?
Doing well. Thanks so much for joining us. So I guess the first question is, how different is it going to be? Tell me a little bit about Zach Arnett and just the way he runs the show. How different does it feel for you all? How different of a product in the field it may look like?
Yeah, man. Defensively, I wouldn't expect much change at all. Losing Emmanuel Forbes, that's a hit. Anytime you lose a first-round corner, it's going to be tough. But, we've replaced corners, the last 6-7 years have gone in the draft. But we're pretty much outside of him returning most of our production there. But the offense is a crapshoot. Nobody really knows. I mean, the spring game, I feel like the script was very limited. I feel like Barbet didn't show his hand very much and kind of kept everything close to the chest there. So offensively, we're excited, but I would say cautiously optimistic is the word.
So Barbet kept it all close. I think that's pretty typical when it comes to spring football. What do you expect? Do you expect it to look a little Leach-ish, if you will, without him pushing the buttons?
Honestly, no. His big thing coming here has been getting the ball in our playmakers' hands as much as possible. Look for Tulu Griffin to get the ball a ton this year. He's moving from outside receiver to the slot. He's a All-American kick returner. He's going into his senior year. I expect him to have a massive year. I expect him to get the ball on jet sweeps. I expect him to get screens. I expect him to get any mesh routes just available to get him open. He's probably going to be the key to the offense, but I expect to run the ball a lot more, man. I expect Woody Marks to tote the rock probably at least 20 times a game. And the box is going to be a little more loaded than it would be if we were running the air raid. But no, I don't expect seeing 5 wide at all really this year.
Chris, tell me if this is a fair assessment. I feel like Will Rogers is respected throughout college football, but he's one of the names people forget to mention when talking about top-tier quarterbacks until it's like, oh, yeah, and Will Rogers. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, no, I think that's valid, especially in the conference this year. I mean, it's kind of a different year for QBs. You got a lot of maybe not new names, but faces that you expect to make a big jump. Like I expect, A&M's QB to make a big jump this year, assuming Jimbo actually lets him play the whole season. But I would have him probably 4th in the conference. He gets labeled system QB very often. But at the end of the day, the QB still has to play ball. It's not a guarantee you can throw any QB in a system in an air raid, and they're going to succeed. So I think it'll be a good opportunity for him, actually, if he wants to get drafted, at a decent spot, for him to show that he can do it in a different offense. So it should be good for him.
You mentioned that the defense you think will look similar, except with some of the changes. Am I right? Only 4 starters are back, though?
No.
Okay.
No, it's a lot. It's a lot more than that.
Okay.
I want to say it's 7 or 8.
Okay. So take me through the defense.
Okay, yeah. So like I mentioned earlier, Forbes is gone. So I expect DeCamerion Richardson to kind of slot into the cornerback 1 role. With the 3-3-5 that Arnett runs, though, it kind of rotates through a lot of DBs. So that may be where you got your numbers from, but we have some meaningful snaps there. I kind of expect Marcus Banks, who's a Bama transfer, to just kind of take over at the corner spot on the opposite side of the field. We return the number 1 and 2 tackler at linebacker in Jet Johnson and Bookie Watson. So a ton of production there at linebacker. And then we get, a couple guys back that were injured the majority of the year on the defensive line that hopefully will be healthy to start the year. So really safety is kind of my main concern. We got a transfer from Michigan, and, we got a couple guys that are more of run stopping safeties and not great coverage safeties. So as far as matchup goes between us and A&M, I feel like that would be where A&M should attack, because I know y'all got a good receiver core going in this year.
Yeah, they're very excited about that receiver core out there. I want to go back to Will Rogers for a minute and kind of expand on that from earlier. Talk to me about his evolution, because I feel like there's been different stages of the way we look at Will, but from the player himself, where have you seen the most growth?
As a leader, man, I don't know, just, his freshman year in 20, he kind of got thrown into the fire. KJ Costello looked like, I don't know, Peyton Manning against LSU in his first game, gets hurt, and Rogers just gets thrown in the fire. I mean, we threw 6 picks as a team versus Kentucky that year. 2 of them were Rogers, but he just slowly won over the locker room. He's just an intangibles guy, if you will, not to be cliche, but first one in, last one out. Everybody loves him. Even when he plays bad, man, he played one of the worst games I've ever seen against Ole Miss at the end of the year. But he just stayed in it, and he made plays when he had to. But he can be so frustrating to watch at times, but at the same time, in this conference, especially right now, it's nice knowing that you have a guy that's efficient, that you have a guy that's experienced, and that you have a guy that's won on the road. I mean, he won in College Station his sophomore year in 21. So, I'd rather go into a year with a fairly experienced team, knowing we have a fairly experienced QB. And I expect him to lead the way, especially through this transition with the coaching change.
How's Kayvon Lee fitting in?
Who?
Lee, the running back from Penn State?
Oh, dude, I couldn't tell you. I mean, Woody's going to get the majority of the carries. Simeon Price is running back 2. Right now, Woody Marks and Dylan Johnson were kind of 1A and 1B. Dylan, transferred to go to Washington. I kind of expect Lee to compete with Simeon Price for that role. But I'm also curious on how much we're going to throw the ball out of the backfield. That's things that I think both Price and Lee can do. But as far as how he's fitting in right now, I don't have much news on that. I'm not even exactly sure when he got on campus. So that's going to be one of those things that probably around fall camp we have a better idea of.
Yeah, I think he announced right after the spring game, so he might be working his way there. Let's talk a little bit about other playmakers that could emerge for Mississippi State, names for A&M fans to look out for.
Yeah, man. Just looking at the receiver group, I mentioned Tulu. That one's a no-brainer. I would look at Xavion Thomas. He was a freshman All-American last year as well. He's an elite returner as well. He returns the punts, so we have one of the best, 1-2 punches in the return game there, probably in the country. Justin Robinson. He transferred from Georgia a year ago. He's made big leaps. We expect him to be kind of our end zone threat this year. More of a jump ball guy, because as Ra Thomas, he got poached through NIL to Georgia. So he went to the Dogs of the East, and Caleb Ducking ran out of eligibility. So I fully expect Justin to be our end zone threat for sure.
How is Mississippi State evolving as a program through this NIL era?
I think a month ago, a lot of people would have said it's going rough, but we kind of been on a hot streak here lately, recruiting wise. Landed like 4 4-stars in 1 week, I think 2 weeks ago. And one of Arnett's focuses, man, was getting guys on campus on staff that just were passionate about recruiting, and getting Chad Bumpus from Utah, who played here under Dan Mullen. He's the receivers coach. I mean, he's been crushing it. We got David Turner back, who coached a couple names you may have heard of: Jeffrey Simmons, Chris Jones, Fletcher Cox, all those guys. I think he coached Miles Garrett, I think, for y'all. So he's back on campus. We're excited to have him. He's got a couple $100 million worth of money in the NFL right now. The NIL, yeah, depending on who you talk to, maybe our little brothers up north would probably tell you that we don't have the money. But that's just the furthest from the truth, man. It's going better than I expected, to be honest, at this point in time.
Help navigate me through this schedule. Where do you see some potential roadblocks? Where do you see some success?
Yeah, man. So just from a early glance, I wouldn't say the make or break, but the key stretch is from September 16th to September 30th. We've got LSU, then go on the road to South Carolina, and then have Bama at home. So you get LSU and both Bama at home. You have to take one of those games, and obviously the one that the most realistically looking at is South Carolina on the road. I'll listen to y'all segment, and talking to the guy before me came on here. I'm not really big on the South Carolina hype. I expect to go on the road and win that game. I know their offensive line is not looking very good. I expect Arnett to take just full dominance of that game and just kind of put Spencer Rattler in shambles. So that's a key stretch. We go back to back on the road at Arkansas and at Auburn, two teams that we also beat a year ago. I don't know, man. The Kentucky series has been back and forth. The home team has won that game the last, I want to say, 6 meetings. And then we go to College Station right after that. So luckily we don't draw Georgia on the schedule this year. But I would say early on, we'll know after this LSU, South Carolina, Bama stretch, what to expect through the rest of the season. You have to grab a game out of that 3.
Chris, how big is this of a year for this program, considering where they were going with Mike Leach, where the trajectory was, the 9-win season last year, all eyes on them with one last year of Will Rogers and what Zach Arnett can do. Is it a huge year, or does he get a little bit of grace?
I would say he's got a little bit of house money. First time head coach. I hate how it happened, but I love that he's here. It was the right decision, especially for just maintaining the roster, because it's a very veteran roster going this year. If he wins 8 or 9 games, great. I think as long as he's, in this 7-5-ish realm, people are going to live with that with a first-year head coach. And you mentioned Rodgers. I mean, it's his last year if he wants it to be, but he's got a COVID year eligibility. He can come back the following year if he wants to. So that'll be something to look out for, depending on how well he plays this year. But there's going to be a lot of roster turnover after this season, and you just got to think that Arnett, if he really wants to be here for a long time, he's got to take some momentum into the offseason. So I think 8-4 is a good mark for him to shoot for. 8-4 is what I'm expecting. Where exactly those losses are going to come from are debatable, but that's kind of what I expect going into this year.
Are you guys better than Ole Miss this year?
I would say so. I would say it's really close, but we get them at home. And I'm, if I was a betting man, I would bet right now that we would beat them at home. And who's to say Lane Kiffin's not going to be looking for another job in the last 4 weeks of the season? I've been curious if Napier's on the hot seat and he gets fired, if Kiffin would go looking at Florida or something like that. So that's always something to think about with him. Their offense is probably a little better, but I think our defense is much better than theirs. So I'm interested and excited for that matchup as well. I think the whole West as a whole I have LSU winning the West again, and then Bama will be right behind them. But I think the fight for the 3 spot is going to be just, a brawl. So it's going to be a fun year.
Does Kiffin throw shade at Mississippi State? Because I feel like he throws shade at A&M every chance he gets. Does it feel the same way for you all?
Yeah, I mean, he trolls, but he loved Leach, man. They were good friends. They were friendly rivals. The rivalry was a lot less toxic after both of them came in. And we definitely still all hate each other, but I feel like Kiffin doesn't take it that seriously, and Leach didn't either. But I mean, if you follow him on Twitter, like he just random memes and like always got something to say. I mean, if people that are familiar in the recruiting realm in Mississippi, that what he did with MJ Daniels last year, he got him to commit to us and like lock down his recruitment like 4 days before signing day, and then flipped on signing day, and now he's at Southern Miss. Like, it's just, I don't know. Kiffin's a big troll, and he's an interesting and entertaining coach, so he doesn't bother me, but I can't take him all that seriously.
Hey, Chris, we appreciate your insight, man. Thanks so much.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Chris Clifton there. You can check out his work at Talking Dogs Podcast. All right, we'll hit a break. We'll have an open segment when we come back here on TexAgs Radio. Now, I want you guys to do me a favor and mess with my buddy Chance McClain at Heritage Films. So I told you all that he is working on this new project called Yearflix, right? It hasn't gone live yet. He did a test with my daughter, Annalise, and it's basically these benchmark videos about your family. She's 12 years old. He asked her a bunch of questions, a 20-minute video he put together all on Annalise, and it's phenomenal. It is so cool, and we're so happy that he did that. And he's like, yeah, we're gonna go live here soon, but it's on the website. And I'm like, let's get him business now. Like, you go to the website, yourheritagefilm.com, and you click on Yearflix, and that's how you do it. And like, he's gonna take the business, trust me. But let's just flood him with it, right? Like, he hasn't gone live with it. He just put it on the website last week. He's testing things out. I'm like, let's flood the website with this. Let's get some benchmark videos for our kids out there, right? And of course, you can do the way he always does it, the Heritage Film, right? You could do a video on your family ranch, your family business, or your pops, your grandfather, the patriarch of your family, whoever it may be, and honor them with a 2-hour documentary, because that's what Chance does with Heritage Film. So you got 2 different ways you can kind of get involved right now. One for your kid, one for your father, your grandfather. It's awesome. Call him up and ask him about it. 713-893-8341. He answers these calls. He calls everybody back. 713-893-8341. Or check out yourheritagefilm.com, yourheritagefilm.com.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. The Brazos County 4-H Cake Show and Auction is Monday, August 7th at the Brazos Center. The auction starts at 7 p.m. When you don't know where to turn to 211 Texas, a free, easy-to-remember helpline that connects you to community services. Simply dial 211 or visit 211texas.org. The Community Foundation builds charitable endowment funds to benefit area nonprofits far into the future. Consider the options of building your charitable legacy with the Community Foundation at cfbv.org.